The crazy thing is I don't really get to spend as much time with my players and customers as I would like to.
Bo, shut up.
I say it every event. I'm like, just imagine going to an Airsoft event if every single person followed the rules
Dudes will spend $600, $700, $800 on a kit.
and not have the right.
$10 eyebrow.
Yeah,
I fucking hate it.
It was up to me. I would love to see FPS go to 450 or higher.
Yo.
I mean, I would love it.
So
I mean,
500 FPS, no med?
that's fine. Here's the way I look at it. If we were
It's Airsofty bullshit. That's really
but it's
what it
true.
is.
But it's still.
Yeah.
I want to hear it. That's the thing. That's
And
right.
you did say roast me in the chat.
I did.
Yeah.
Dead rags.
Oh, okay. That's going to be quick.
Wait.
Yeah, y'all
so
might
we
be in
were
trouble on
wrong.
this one.
No. We were wrong.
Yeah, y'all might be in trouble on this one.
We
So
were wrong.
It does say red in the rules.
It says red.
It does.
It does
And,
say.
and is the argument there that orange is brighter? Absolutely. But it just says red.
Go buy our merch. Go to the Zulu24.square.site, buy some merch. Also, I found a little hiccup and I can't seem to resolve it. So when you go and you buy merch, when you look at it, it says out of stock. Everything says out of stock until you put in your size.
Oh.
So everything's there. You got to put in your size. Head on over Zulu24.square.site. Pick up your Zulu24 merch. We're always kind of updating it. All the designs on there. There are a lot of cool stuff.
But, they.
Bo, shut up.
Okay.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Zulu 24 podcast. As always, I'm joined by Anthony from Airsoft, or I'm from fucking Antec Studios, and Jordan from Zulu Outdoor. Today, we have a very special guest with us. We have Bo from AMS with us today.
Yep.
How are you, Bo?
I'm pretty good, man. What's so funny over there? What are you laughing at already? We haven't even started.
I'm laughing about the fact that I know this podcast is going to start with the clip of Dave going, Bo, shut up.
And as it should, because I hear that all the time. So it's no big deal.
You guys fuck
No
with
big
you
deal.
constantly.
Oh, it's already been 4 or 5 times here today, man. It just never ends. I guess being the old turd, that's where it comes from. And I let them do it. I mean, most of the time I don't know it's happening, but I'm telling you, they get me good. Today I was so pissed off today. Long story short, we have these boxes that keep all of our stuff, right? The things that we need at events. We don't have to constantly fly with them and deal with them and, overpack. Everything is here. All my ring gear, all this extra stuff I needed. Chad's like, we don't have your box. And I'm like, what'd you say? He's like, Bo, we don't have it. I'm like, hold up, what? Because we brought our little trailer. We're not bringing the big one here. And he's like, yeah, I'm sorry, man. There's a lot of beer involved in the deal. And I'm like, Chad, wait, what? Okay, hold on. Let's start this conversation over. Where's my box? And he's like, Bo, I'm telling you, I don't have it. I go, Cody, I'm not responsible. Then everybody's in on it. It went on for 20 minutes. I'm kicking rocks, cussing all of them. And I walk over and Cameron's got it sitting in the open. It's all cranked up and everything. I'm like, God. He's like, when are you going to learn, dude? When are you going to learn? I'm like, never.
You can get them back one day.
No, I am. It's coming. Triple fold. Oh, it's going to be bad.
Just grab your chest. You know what I mean?
That's not a bad idea. Yes. God, now you're putting some stuff in my head.
What arm hurts when you're having a heart attack?
Yeah.
Wait till you're already in the ambulance and they're just about to close you up and you're just like, gotcha, bitches.
That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome.
Stop the whole game that you're at. Like,
somehow we'll have to come up with something.
so you guys have a crazy schedule. I was looking at your schedule. You guys are doing something once a month.
Yes. This year was 10 events. We cram a couple really quick, one after Copperhead, which is basically 2 in a month, but 10 in a year is a lot. We went through a couple of years where 6, 7, 8, obviously COVID off and on, but the goal is to try to get 10, and this year it's been crazy. We got this one, and then right after here, we have the last event of the year for Ranger Games. I know. It's a lot. It is a lot. There's a lot that goes into these events, as you guys know, but it's everything that goes with them. And it goes on and on. My wife's like, what are you doing upstairs? I'm like, I haven't got off. I'm still in my freaking underwear and I haven't got off the computer all day and phone calls and it just never ends.
Yeah. We just came, we went to
Iron Horse.
Sorry. I always forget that. Iron Horse at Guardian. And was it 2 years ago? 2 years ago, you guys did that game in August?
Yeah. August.
It's hot as fuck.
Oh man. I mean, and Guardian's one of those things for everybody that doesn't know. It's like, we don't get to ask them when we go, they go, hey, here's when you can go and we got to take it, So last year we tried that crazy schedule of starting late and going super late, hoping to give everybody more time, not in the sun. And, it for the most part worked, but it's difficult. You try to do the best you can there. But it was hot.
The weather was tough that time.
It was tough.
But there was a period of time during that game I saw you, like we talked, we had a conversation, and I just want to take credit for this, if it's at all possible. I think I told you, I was like, man, this is great, but just do it later in the year.
Yeah, it's right. We got lucky. He called me because we actually moved it this year because it was supposed to be in November. That's why we're here.
That's right.
So some stuff switched around. He's like, Bo, hey, man, we got a standing contract that they kind of have first right. So he's like, what do you want to do? And I'm like, when can you take me? He goes, well, how about moving it back to October? And that couldn't have been a better answer.
Oh, yeah.
So excited. I'm like, yes.
Yeah, no, that it was beautiful. It was like 60 degrees the whole time.
It was perfect.
It was actually.
Could possibly be the best weather we've had in 2 or 3 years in an event.
Yeah.
It was perfect.
One slight critique with the weather. It was a bit windy for my taste.
Yeah.
So if you could calm down the wind next time, that'd be great.
Bo.
Yeah, I'll try.
Set up some barriers or something.
I'll do it. Yeah, I'll do my best. I'll do my best.
What kind of risk is involved in getting an AO like Guardian for an event? Like what risk are you assuming? I know there's the chance that they might call you and be like, hey, you can't do it on this day because special forces are going to use it.
It's a very serious issue because, it's happened to us. It's happened to Third Coast. It's happened to a lot of people that put on events. And the way he explains it to me, they have these standing contracts that basically any of these handful of companies or departments can call any given time and go, we want it this weekend. And they cannot, it doesn't matter if you've already paid a deposit or you are still coming. It doesn't matter. Like those people take first priority. So it's a pretty big risk. We're always nail biting at that one facility. The other facilities were pretty good. Plius, Fort Hood for Rainier Games, stuff like that. Knock on wood so far. We haven't had that happen. It's not really an issue, but that's really the biggest risk right up until the event.
Really?
Is for it to happen. Yes.
What about damage, trash, things like that? What kind of things do they expect of you? I mean, you're taking AMS is taking full responsibility for how this place gets used.
They're very, very strict when it comes to that. I mean, obviously the price keeps going up every year. It's astronomical to rent that place. And that is another part of the risk. We don't know if we're going to sell tickets every year. We just literally don't know. We hope we do, but that's probably the second biggest risk. But they really set a really good parameter for us. Here's where parking is. Here's your people allowed to be. Here's where you're allowed to be at this time. And we abide by that like it is law. And so far, we've done a pretty good job of maintaining their expectations. And that's what I say in our in our safety briefing. I'm like, guys, look, man, you're not here for AMS. I mean, you're here for this whole community, because other event promoters want to come here, as they should. And let's do our part and keep the facility clean. Don't tear things up and let them keep their doors open for other people to come, So it's a pretty big deal. And we stress out about it a lot, especially at a place like that.
Do they have anybody while the event's going on? Like, do they have any of their staff or whatever there during the event to see how things are going?
They do. So the main contract guy we deal with is a great dude. And then we have their guy who they really assume to us. And he is basically on call 24/7 for us. And we have radio, we have issues, anything needs to get fixed, broken lights. We had a light issue this year. That's why a lot of the lights were not on when we wanted them to be on, because I started flipping switches in the buildings like I have for the last 4 years or whatever, and a lot of them were not turning on. So I got a hold of that guy, and he's like, yeah, we're having some problems in that building. I'm like, what about this building? That one too. So there was a couple we ran into. But, they take care of us and make sure that – because basically at that point, we are a customer. Yeah. And they really – once they know, they're like, okay, let's make sure you have a good time. Everything's what you need, and we take care of you. So It's good. It's good.
Do any of them play?
No, but they had some team guys that were there for training, that were hanging out at the hooches where we stay. We stay in those little cabins, whatever. They were outside playing some, hanging out, drinking, playing some drinking games. And they said, dude, we want to play. And we kind of got them set up with guns from Fatco, and they went out and played all day Saturday. And there were some, I can't remember what they were in, but there's some pretty hard hitters apparently. And they had the best time. They're like, man, that is fun. I've never done anything like that. But, as far as the employees at Guardian, no, they don't. Nobody plays that I know of. But
what's the cleanup like after the event? I mean, I've only run I've only run one offsite game. Right, we did one down in West Virginia, and fuck me. We were there for fucking 6-7 hours after we had been awake from Friday all the way to Sunday, sweeping and fucking like.
Where were you?
Excuse me.
That was a
Panthera.
Okay.
that was at
Oh, yeah,
Panthera, yeah.
Okay.
We did Benghazi there one year,
Oh, that's right.
and you're the worst.
Thanks, Ant.
You're the fucking worst.
Thanks, man.
The cleanup fucking took forever. I mean, it was like the way that they wanted it clean was brush or a broom
Everything.
Yeah. Like
Yes. That's how it is. Well, that's the thing we pay for at Iron Horse is that we pick up the trash, but they do all the BB sweeping.
oh, right on.
So we pay for that. Right. That's a huge benefit. So we pick up all the nades, which you can imagine what that is. And then they do all the sweeping. Fort Hood, different story. So for a couple of years, 4 or 5 years, we had to clean and we were there until daylight the next day with 30 people.
Yeah.
So a lot of times we offer support staff. So if you get a support staff ticket and you stay and work, we'll refund your whole ticket or 80%, and you get checked out and we refund your money. So basically, if you stay and clean for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hours, we just don't know how much, but your whole ticket's free. And so that one's difficult. And we've had some other ones that are pretty, the hardest one ever though, was the first time we went to MUTC.
I was going to say I did that cleanup for MSW after their game there.
It's
won.
Yeah, I'm telling you, they were unbelievably strict. We picked up, I think it was like 17, like that's a 1 and a 7 of the biggest lawn and leaf bags full of EG67 holes. And then we had to blow the parking lot where the buses are with blowers, which is gravel and BBs.
Yeah.
So to do that. So that was a nightmare.
They had us sweep the top floor of the parking garage because there were too many leaves.
Oh, God. That's just insane.
Yeah.
You know, but it's one of those things where I'm like, guys, we got to step it up and do it. And we had a crew of probably 40 or 50 dudes cleaning it at that game.
Yep.
And then the next year, they were a little bit less harsh on us. So it wasn't quite as bad.
That's just crazy.
If I remember correctly, Shelby's the same way because I helped MSW clean up after a Shelby game, and they wanted us to sweep every building of every BB and get blanks, grenades, any BBs that all had to be out of the buildings.
They want it spotless.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're like, what? And you don't realize how bad. Oh, we'll get some blowers. We'll get in there and you think it is, but when it's all dirty and it's full of bat crap, and you're like, what am I doing? You know, it's just, it's too much. I mean, everybody came out with black faces and couldn't breathe, and that doesn't work very well.
I found a petrified bird at Shelby, and I was just like, this is bullshit. These buildings haven't been swept in a year.
Oh, exactly. You know, and we've, through time, we have gone with the guys on the range at Hood. And the next year we went back to MUTC and we're like, look, we're just showing you what it looks like with us walking in.
Sure.
And I'm taking photos and I'm showing them like, hey, don't come back to me. You know, it's, you know, we're not here to clean for you. We'll clean our mess. And so they realized that. And so over time, it's, you know, obviously gotten a little better.
What's that AO in Mississippi?
Shelby.
Yeah.
We had Ironclad there 3 years in a row, 3 or 4 years in a row.
I've noticed a lot of producers aren't going back there anymore. What's the deal with that?
I don't know. They had something, I don't know, something happened. It was another promoter or they just stopped doing it. But there's a new fad kind of going on now with a lot of these locations where you have to be a nonprofit. A lot of the camps, like Camp Shelby, Camp Gruber, some of the ones that we go to, you know, and so it's a little difficult. You got to kind of weasel your way around stuff. But that's kind of, I don't know what happened to Shelby. It's cool. It's very small the way we played it.
Yeah.
And then there is other really cool structures and buildings a little bit further away where we did a dam mission, did some really cool stuff in the early days of AMS. But we didn't incorporate all of it like MSW does, which their gameplay, it works really well for that. So they could really take advantage of that facility. And for us, it's a 350 man game at the most. You know? But it's a cool place. It is cool.
Yeah, everything would kind of center around that
town.
The town with the mosque and all that stuff.
That's it.
Because there's just nothing but tree line. I mean, that other, there's a Conex Box town or whatever up the road, but it's like a mile or two up the road.
Yeah, we looked it up. It's a mile and a half north. And it's like, I mean, we slept there. There was like
it's cool.
10 buildings at most.
Right. And it's kind of like a bigger mosque-ish, white, and had some buildings around it. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, definitely.
But I was told the leadership at Shelby changed and they don't want Airsoft. That was what I was told.
And honestly, you know, not to break in this in a whole nother conversation, but that's one of the things that I think event promoters as a whole, we stress about daily, going back to your question, is it's a real thing. You know, tomorrow we can get a call from Guardian and they go, no more airsoft. Plies, New Mexico, we're done. Hood, we're done. Anybody tomorrow, it's very volatile. And I think, off what you talked about on the podcast the other day about events and the one you talked about Iron Horse, it's just, there's a lot that goes into it. And we're just always nervous that something like that tomorrow, this could all be gone.
I think that's the road Anthony was trying to go down was like how much work pre and post event that you guys, all the risk that you're taking. And then for, potentially bad apples to come in as players and fuck shit up, not just for you or AMS or anybody, but for fucking everybody, right? Like
that's right.
Like if Guardian Center staff is on site, which you said they are, right? And they see some bullshit and they're just like, you know what, man, this shit ain't worth it.
That's
dude.
right. That's right.
It's just not. We have plenty of government contracts that don't leave trash everywhere, that don't fucking do dumb shit. You know what I mean?
That don't leave stuff out there.
Oh, sorry.
They're training to serve the country.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Like,
they're not here recreationally.
We've seen it happen with MUTC and Guardian. That all happened about 10 years ago where
Yeah.
MUTC stopped doing airsoft because of some airsofty bullshit. And Guardian Center got a contract where they couldn't do airsoft for 5-6 years.
For a while, we had a big
Yeah.
gap where we didn't do it.
Yeah, it was like 2016 to 2021 or 2022. You couldn't go to Guardian Center. And it wasn't anything airsofters did. It was just they got a contract.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember calling up to METC and going, hey, I'm like, can you please talk to us about doing an event there? He was like, Bo, we don't do that anymore. I'm like, seriously? He's like, no, look, we're not doing airsoft here anymore. And I'm like, look, can you have a conversation? Let us fly out there and talk about it. Fast forward another month or two of conversations. They finally agreed to let us come talk to them. And we promised them all this. And for the most part, it was a big game, but for the most part, we did everything that we said we were going to do. And the game went well. And they kind of opened it up to airsoft after that. And then a lot of promoters came in and did it. And so it was cool.
So would you say that AMS opened Guardian Center back up?
That was it.
Or MUTC? Was that MUTC? Sorry.
I mean, I'm not going to say we did, but we're not the first ones to go, but yes, there has not been an event there for 4 or 5 years before us.
Yeah.
And he just said, we're not doing it. And we convinced him that the industry is better. And, we talked about what we're doing, how we clean and how we take care of everything. And here's our, we've been doing this for a long time. March will hit our 100th event, which is crazy.
Shit.
Yeah. And so I'm like, look, man, here's our list, our pedigree, and call these people. And, we do what we say we're going to do. We're going to take care of the place. And they finally agreed to it. So, yeah, I mean, I take kind of pride in that. I worked really hard for 3 or 4 months to get that facility to let us go.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I'd take credit for opening airsoft back up there. But, I mean, I guess that we did a good job, and I promote that to the players. And I'm like, hey, man, you're not just here for us. Other people want to come too. And it's a good reminder, but it's like going back to what you said. It's these people and these players, we're so fortunate that they want to spend their weekend with us and play airsoft and come to our events. We're one of many great promoters out there, but they don't realize how volatile it really is. They just don't. If they did, they'd go, man, you're telling me we may never go to METC, Guardian, Plius, anywhere.
Yeah.
It's a phone call away from that all being gone.
Yeah, that was kind of the point of that previous podcast, right? The one that we're referencing. It was the responsibility is no longer on the producers anymore. The producers are doing exactly what they should do. You're doing exactly what you should do. You're facilitating. You're bringing people together. You're taking risks. You know what I mean? Now it's up to us. It's up to us as players to respect that, respect the location, respect the guys on the other team, and promote airsoft in a positive light, not only during the game, but after and before. You know what I mean? Like, police your trash, fucking be nice to people. Like it's crazy.
It is. And it's just, it's one of those things where I really try to push. The crazy thing is I don't really get to spend as much time with my players and customers as I would like to. And the safety brief is a good opportunity for me to kind of be involved with them, talk to them, and really kind of give them a reiteration basically of, what AMS is all about, what we're trying to do, what we're trying to promote, the vibe. And, we're one of, like I said before, a lot of promoters out here, and we try to do our best, and we try to promote that in the safety brief. Like, just please take care of this event. And, y'all talked a really long time about the whole thing about the 3 rules of Bo and, just walk to the next player. All these things that I talk about in our safety briefing, I'm trying to reiterate that every day. for them to understand that, you know, and I say it every event. I'm like, just imagine going to an airsoft event if every single person followed the rules. It would be amazing. And it's really not that hard as long as everybody does it.
It starts with you. Yeah.
That's right. It
And
starts with
what's
you.
crazy too is like, contrary to what people might assume based on their, you know, their obsession with clickbait, rage videos on YouTube and
Right.
sniper videos. And no, the rules that he's referring to of people not breaking, it's not people calling their hits. It's the etiquette. It's everything else.
It's
like
everything.
he's not even saying imagine if everybody called their hits.
Right.
You're saying imagine if when you got shot, you didn't start bitching and insulting the person that shot you.
Yeah,
You know,
it's-
imagine if you didn't throw smokes inside of the tunnel. Like just imagine that.
Right.
Just
Imagine people just playing the game and doing it what it's intended for. Right. I mean, we're already lucky to have Pyro give that speech. We're lucky to be able to do what we're doing. We're lucky to go to these venues. And it's unfortunate once in a while that these things happen. And you mentioned it. You know, we do everything from 6 months ahead of time to do what we can to answer emails, social media, phone calls, all the contracting, all the risk, the insurance, and trying to put together a good game. But it does fall on the player, you know, not just from playing like a good person, being a good guy or girl, you know, following the rules, but it's just being a part of the community, man, and just trying to help everybody understand that it's volatile, you know, and it really is.
Over the years, you're at almost like 100 events, and you obviously see airsoft and all the airsoft bullshit.
Yeah.
What would you say you've done to like try to, I don't want to say psyop, but like try to groom and persuade the player base to
Maybe not that word.
be less shitter, you know? Because like Zulu does it by having the staff when they're playing basically be the second coming of Christ. Like even if you didn't get shot, if you're staff, you're gonna call it and you're gonna say good hit, brother.
Yeah,
'Cause you want,
exactly.
You want people to have a good time. You want to just reinforce the good behaviors. Like that's how Zulu does it, and it's through, you know, enforcing those rules without being a dick about it. I was a dick about it, that's why I got fired. But like how would you say AMS handles that?
I
Bringing
mean,
that up.
you know,
I'm so not.
Bring that up.
I'm not bothered by it. It's funny now, you know.
At least once every 2 to 3 episodes, he brings that up.
It's funny. Well, because it's a great point, right? Because I'm sorry.
No.
Sometimes we'll post a reel, we'll post a Richard and Dick, and somebody would be like, oh, well, if you're not friends with the staff, or they'll be like, literally, some guy that worked there, I shot him, and then he shot me while he was dead, and he was being a dick. And I got to bring it up because I'm like, no, like I was a dick. I got fired for it. Okay, like Dave doesn't put up with that shit.
There's a reason
Like,
Anthony plays Dick in this.
yes,
Yeah.
I'm a really good dick.
that's funny.
Yeah. So yeah, how does AMS?
I mean, in a nutshell, I think a lot of it goes back to the safety briefing, the attitude we try to have, the attitude we have online, how we promote our events, how we promote ourselves. I try to treat, but then it gets into that unique thing that I think is a weakness, not just of AMS, but of me, is, you know, the biggest battle is, are they a player or are they a customer? You know, are they a participant or are they a customer? And you have to really protect all the other players by making sure there's not the turds out there and taking care of them when they are. But I'm way more lenient than I need to be a lot. And I'm kind of a soft-hearted guy to begin with, but when I go out there and I see people acting stupid, doing something stupid, I'm like, bro, hey, what are you doing? Like, think about what and I try to, it's not that I'm 52 years old and trying to teach them and discipline them like my kid, but sometimes I find myself doing that. But I think that's the one thing we could really definitely work on, is being a little more strict, because when you start kicking people out immediately when they're doing stupid stuff, people immediately pump the brakes and go, well, you know, maybe we don't need to be doing stupid stuff, because AMS doesn't mess around when it comes to the rule set. And that's what we need to be better at. But it is difficult to me, not saying it's Cody or the rest of the AMS staff, but sometimes I am soft-hearted and these people are spending their money to come out. And I like to give people the benefit of the doubt. And that's a problem on me. But in the most part, I think it really goes in phases and locations and cities and player bases. Kind of going back to what you were saying earlier, the players sometimes, you know, they're the ones at times making it difficult, not ruining the game, but making it difficult for other players and ruining the experience. But we find it's very over the years, we could go 4, 5, 6 games, and I didn't hear one negative thing. The player base is positive. The game went well. Weather's good, whatever it is. But then we'll go to the next game, and it's like, oh my gosh, what did we do wrong, right? Yeah. So we don't know if it's really us and the players, or just us, or just the players, But it's tough,
I have an interesting statistic that I'll ask you about when we're done with this. Okay. About good games to bad. I'm going to ask about what teams there were there.
I had a really spicy question actually in regards to this, because there's the positive reinforcement of good stuff, and you had mentioned what if we just kick people out on their first offense? You run, and I'm not singling you out, right? Because there's other fields and event producers and stuff, and I have no really opinion or side on this, right?
Sure,
but the internet's the internet, and I'm on the outside of it, and to me, it's just kind of juicy, and I want to know about it. YouTubers like Airsoft Alphons and like Swamp Sniper, Kicking Mustang, when they go to these events, there's this big talk amongst the airsoft community online about these players, people who've experienced playing with these YouTube celebrities, and how it was probably not so positive, and how they get banned from all these places. Are there people like that are banned from AMS? And I kind of want to know like the reason for that, things that they might have said, if you have any side on it. Because I think there was something with Airsoft Alphons at when we went to MUTC, because he was there.
Yeah.
And we met him. Like, what's your take on that? Broadly speaking, like what if somebody's a YouTuber and they make airsoft content, how should they be behaving at your event?
So back to my be a dad type thing. This is a very broad statement, but it will cover a lot of people that they probably know who they are. But in my opinion, I'm like, look, if you're using the airsoft industry as your portal to your income, and all these event promoters are providing you with a venue in order to get the content that you're putting on YouTube that is paying you, it seems to me that you would go out of your way to follow the rules, make sure the event promoter is happy with you, that you're helping them, that you're being an asset, because we're all in this kind of together, that conversation again, rather than bending, breaking, stretching the rules in every aspect, being disrespectful. It's just not cool, right?
Do some of them show up with this idea that like, you guys need me because I get all these. I mean, I get all these views, and that's so good.
It's a big AMS. Can of worms you're opening, but yes, and I'm
like, imagine
we'll talk about some of this off camera.
Imagine if T-Rex Arms did that,
right? Exactly. Like, and
I heard great things about him personally, and Travis Haley. I heard great things about them personally. Like, as dudes, like. They were super nice to everybody, and
because they're protecting their image too, right?
Yeah, there's some of that, absolutely.
And they brought themselves down to the airsofters,
correct?
These real steel guys, and they were like, okay, I'm going to play in the sandbox with the kids.
Yeah, and there's a lot of good ones. I'm telling you, there's a lot of good ones, and there is some that are not so good.
Dude, Anthony was talking to like Milspec Mojo and all his guys.
I didn't even realize it was him.
Dude, he's such a nice guy. Now that dude,
he put up with him. I will say that.
I was being so autistic.
Yeah. It's like,
did you realize it was Mojo?
No, he didn't.
Well,
awesome.
No, it's funny. I had a thought while I was talking to him, but I was like, no, because I was like, maybe I'm just being like, racist.
Anthony, when he actually meets Grantham.
Well, we joke with Tyler. We call him Milspec Mojo because he's short. He's Asian and he shoots, and when he puts his kit on, like, we joke with him.
Right.
In fact, I have a video on my phone, and he's like, "Hi, I'm Milspec Mojo," and he bump fires a gun. I was walking with him. I'm walking with these guys. We're going to our spawn, and then Tan's going to their spawn. And we started walking together, and I started talking to these Tan guys because they're all wearing multicam. And I was like, what do you guys think a multicam is like Tan? Because I was like, I'm colorblind.
That's a great question. I'd love to lose it.
I was like, I'm colorblind, but I was like, personally, I still, like, if I see multicam, I accept that it's Tan. And I'm like being, and Mojo, like, trying to give his piece on it. I kind of interrupted him because I was like stimming on the topic.
Well, that's what you do.
Yeah. But as I'm walking with him, he's really short.
Yeah, he's a little bit.
Like, I consider myself to be short. And in my head, I was just like, this guy's doing like a Milspec Mojo impression kid or something, because he looks so much like Milspec Mojo. That's weird. And then the thought gets interrupted, and I was like, oh my God, I'm going to the wrong spawn. I'll see you guys out there. Never saw them. But I went to
No
that.
way.
Jordan's like, you know, that was Milspec Mojo. I was like, oh, no way.
You're like, no, really, was he?
I was like, no, you're fucking with me.
He was just having the dumbest conversation. I could tell all the guys in his group were just like, who the fuck is this guy? Like, he's on the other team. Like, is he just trying to be like the super nice guy? Like, what the fuck's going on?
No, he's just hyper autistic.
I wonder
That's
if
awesome.
I wonder if he somehow like has heard of Antec and he may have thought I was schmoozing to try to be like, yeah, I'm going to be friends with Mona.
Oh, he will after this because I'm tagging him in the short.
Yeah.
No, he's got his Paragon build. He's very happy with it. And
Oh, no. I just want to tag him in you explaining that story because you're hyper autistic.
oh yeah, yeah. Sorry. I used to watch your video. I stopped watching a lot of GunTube videos. I just got too busy.
He's one
But
of the only ones I still watch because he actually pops up in my Instagram feed.
the most valuable thing Milspec Mojo taught me is that if you have a Glock, you can take a mag from a SIG. I take his mags from a SIG P229 and I can put it in my Glock. It won't lock in, but it will feed.
It will run.
It will.
Yeah.
It will ugga dugga.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good
Thank
dude.
you.
He's
Thank
a
you,
good dude.
Mojo.
Yeah, thank you, Mojo.
Yeah.
But anyway,
I like
Good to
that
know.
guy. Yeah.
You know, in the apocalypse, brother, you might not always have a Glock mag.
That's right.
You know what I mean? The Boogaloo.
Well, it is kind of funny because that's one
So-
of the first things Anthony did.
yeah, it was. So your interactions. So how did you get the relationships that you have with like the GunTube space? Did they come to you? Did you go to them?
They came to me, to us. Lucas, that's a very long story with him, but his first Airsoft big event was with us at GTI. He was just a kid. And Blake, who's one of the former AMS owners, really the founder of AMS, Blake Danier, everybody knows him as Frosty. He's like, hey, I'm bringing this kid. He's starting his own Kydex company. He's a great guy. You know, you'll love him. And one day I'm telling you, Bo, this kid's got something. He's a good guy. So he came, I met him. He had a bag full of Kydex and stuff that he had made on his own and friendly, you know, played and kind of grew and grew and grew and grew. And we've talked on the back end a lot and very nice guy. Started coming to more games and he just said, hey, I want to come as many as I can. He came to 2 or 3 Copperheads, I think. And he's been to Guardian maybe once. I think he went to Fort Hood once, but he's probably been maybe 5, you know, since he started blowing up. But early in the day, he came to a bunch. But he came to us and he had some good ideas and he enjoyed the event. And we talked a lot about a potential something we wanted to kind of do on the wayside. And then obviously, you know, his plans had changed and he's done some other stuff now. But he came to us. Yeah. So a lot of these players, going back to your other question, you know, sometimes they'll just show up and not tell me they're coming, you know, and I'm like, wait a minute, you know, we need to know because we got waivers and we need to know what's going on and need to know when you're coming and not coming. And so that's another part of the stuff we do with that. But when these guys want to come, they just come and have a ball. You know, Travis Haley, I guess through, you know, oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank. He used to come to all of our games with PTS, Greg Wong. So he knew them through them and got Haley to come to a couple games. Haley's been to maybe 2 Copperheads and had a good time, had fun, you know, and, you know, Mojo just called me out of the blue. He said, hey, dude, I got a group of dudes that want to come. And now Drew with Dirty Civilian, you know, they had been coming to games before when he was back with T-Rex. So they went on their own and did their stuff. So they've been to a couple black sites and done some stuff. And again, you know, it gives these guys a good place to do their content, you know, and Drew and them put together a crazy video at Black Site.
Oh, nice.
You got to go see it. It is really good on Dirty Civilian. And, you know, they go through the motions. They call, ask, here's what we're doing. Can you hook us up? Here's what we need. Here's the time frame. And when they do that, I'm like, sure, you know, sure. Right. And it's cool that they want to come do it at our event and we're honored that they want to come and spend some time at our place. But again, going back to what we're talking about, I mean, we're the ones renting these facilities and taking all the risk and, you know, having them out. So, you know, it's kind of a give and take.
It's kind of a professional courtesy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I mean, I
It's
reached
a
out.
better bourbon.
Yeah. I reached out to you to ask really if we could do a podcast during the game and during Iron Horse. And I just felt like that was the right thing to do. That way, at the very least, you guys knew about it and you weren't like, what the fuck's going on?
Right.
And also maybe you could disseminate that to the players so that they know that like, we're not an objective, you know what I mean? Like, but we're still killable.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but you can totally come try.
And I wasn't sure, honestly, what to do on that. I didn't know if I wanted to to tell everybody or if I wanted to do it on the back end or let it happen organically.
Yeah.
So I don't think that I mentioned it in the safety briefing, but it worked out. And some people had came up to me and like, dude, Zulu's doing a podcast during the middle of the game. I'm like, no, cool, right? And they're like, yeah, that was awesome. So I knew I knew it would play out. I was just nervous about, I didn't really understand it, but I'm like, if people go in there and somebody's running from people and they pull up because you're on a podcast and they get mad at me and, you know.
I 1000% understood exactly why. Yeah. Because that's, you come into a room and you're like, oh, am I supposed to be here?
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
It turned out where we did it was like, right. It wouldn't be a mistake. You know what I mean? Like you wouldn't come in there and be like, oh, these guys are definitely not in play. Like we had guys shooting over us.
Because I didn't know if you were like bringing this and trying to set up the whole.
We packed everything into that little black Pelican case over there and rolled it out. But that was kind of one of the parts where I started freaking out because you guys switched your mobile respawn system.
Yeah.
Tan team and green team have their own wheeling Pelican cases. Yeah. They're about the same size.
No, you're like, oh, crap,
I was like, oh no, somebody's going to think this is the case.
And take it.
Take it. And we're like wheeling it out. And somebody's like,
pulling the mics out. This is a weird mobile respawn play.
And we're like wheeling the podcast stuff out. And a player's just like, hey, is that the mobile respawn? We're like, no, it is not.
So somebody asked you.
Somebody asked.
Oh,
yeah. Then we're wheeling it through the building and somebody's like, hey, is that like an objective thing? And we're like, no, not at all. Yeah. Because they were so curious.
It is for us.
Funny. While we were filming, one guy on our team like walked in the room, stopped, and like backed out.
Oh, yeah.
He probably was like, oh, you know, that's what I was worried about, you know, but it's fine. It worked out.
He had to be like somewhere between the age of 17 and 20. And he like got all wide-eyed and then just like backed around the corner.
I don't know if
no, come back.
I don't know if he felt like he was interrupting.
No, we tried to. Every time he walked in, he like made eye contact with me and then he ran away. I'm like, I know I look like a piece of shit, but it's okay. Come talk to me.
Just come say something. I mean, did y'all get a chance to get some?
We got random players to come sit down.
Minigun guy.
When is that one coming out?
It's already out.
Oh, I haven't seen that one.
Do you listen to them on Spotify?
Who?
The podcast.
No, not on Spotify.
Okay, I was going to say because that one episode, Spotify would not let me post that one to the platform for some reason. Every time I tried to upload it, it was like error codes compiling the audio. It's all nerd jargon.
It works out though because you really have to watch it.
Yeah,
and we need more YouTube.
Yeah,
it's tough to listen to. I'll be honest with you. He sent me the raw cut of it just to make sure we don't say any dumb shit or whatever. And I got through about 15 minutes and I was like, because I was listening to it in my truck and I was like, oh, it's awful. It's so bad.
It's just so much noise.
It's an experience to watch, right? Because you can kind of, it's like somebody had to be the first to do it.
So it was video. Y'all videoed it.
Yeah, we set up cameras.
Okay.
It's like, so Dave, how's the web?
Well, that's part of the problem is that we thought it'd be cool to bring as many boss units as we could, which was cool. But then because we had 8 or 9 of them in one building, it was very loud.
I was silly.
It's so cool. I mean, it's a good idea.
I'm glad y'all did it. We had to be the first, right? I mean, we can build off of that.
And kind of learn something and maybe,
Because I don't think that the product was, the end result in theory is like super cool. But then when you actually sit down and listen to it, you're like, oh.
Right. Okay. That makes sense. Like, I didn't really think about that.
Yeah, it also doesn't help that like we didn't come up with any talking points because we were dead convinced that we were not going to make it. Like we were not going to get to the point of like pulling the mics out and actually setting up the podcast. So when we sat down, we're like, shit, what do we talk about?
Shit, we're here.
Because the minute you said that, I started thinking, I was like, God, the roof of the Yellow Administration Building is actually pretty cool. And you can access that. And y'all could have done it on the roof. It still could have heard maybe a lot of that, but it wouldn't have been in a building, maybe not the same effect, but a little different where you could stand up or, you can see the whole AO from that building.
But we were also trying to stay in play.
In the fight, we
were trying to stay in play because,
true.
Again, maybe it's main character energy, but we were like, it'd be really funny if there was a firefight in the building while we were doing the podcast. Like dudes were actively engaging each other inside the same building. Well, they tried to push the building at one point, but they would never have made it all the way to the third floor.
Oh, okay.
There's so many people in there.
There was like 40 or 50.
And I'm sure once you guys were up there and they knew you were up there, I mean, they were like, we're not letting them in.
Because even like the way we set it up, we're sitting up against a wall and there's like a window here and a window there. There were BBs actively flying through the windows.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
There's a couple times where I just pull a grenade out and just like throw it over my shoulder out the window. It was cool. It was something that needed to be done.
Cool.
We'll refine it later on. But
yeah. Oh man.
Awesome. But anyway, let's take a quick break.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we'll be right back.
Okay.
And we're back.
We're back.
All right. So we were talking about Iron Horse just a little bit there with Guardian Center. Now let's get into the nitty gritty.
Okay.
Right. We
I
had
like
some.
it.
We
I
had
like
some. We had some issues, concerns,
Hot takes.
hot takes, if you will. But now you're here sitting in front of us, and we can't hide behind a camera.
I love it. That's
And
right.
you did say roast me in the chat.
I did.
Yeah.
Well, so
I mean, I'm ready. Let's go. Because
Well, let's talk about your foot stance first. No, I'm kidding.
No, let's talk about Guardian Center as an AO, and there was a ruling that was present for this game, and a lot of people said on the second day that it went away, but no, we didn't really hear that or like.
Right.
So the ruling was you couldn't shoot through anything smaller than your head.
Correct.
And now there were these like ambiguous windows that were like half covered with plywood. Like it was.
yeah, well, it was because Guardian went and did that, and you could see they were removable. But like some of them, the gap was this, and then some of them, the gap was this.
Yeah,
and
correct.
like on Saturday, one of the issues I had, and it's Airsofty bullshit. That's really
but
what
it's
it
true.
is.
But it's still.
Yeah.
I want to hear it. That's the thing.
So like prime example, I don't remember which building it was in, but it was a building that there was another one within arm's reach when you reached your hand out of a window. And I looked and I go, oh, I can't fit my open head through that.
Right.
I don't have to worry about getting shot through it. So I immediately disregarded it and started shooting at the dudes that were across the street. And then all of a sudden I get shot. And I'm like, where the fuck did that come from? Pull my dead rag out, sit down on the ground, and I realize, oh, there's a barrel poking through that window. I was like, I can't shoot through that. And I look and go, well, that's kind of okay, weird, but there's an admin. Let me go talk to the admin.
Right.
And I walk over to him and I ask him, and he goes, oh, I just talked to those dudes in those buildings. Let me go handle it. And I kind of look at him and go, so am I alive? Like, what's the deal here? Because you can't shoot through them, but I got shot through it.
Right.
He's like, well, you called it and you have your dead rag out. I'm like, all right, well, I'm dead now, which leads me full circle to what we were saying on the podcast. It kind of condones turning an honest airsofter into a shitbag, because multiple times I saw people on our team just get shot through a window and go, oh, it probably came from a murder hole. Oh, it probably came through a door. And I'd look at him and be like, that's bullshit. Like, you don't know that for sure. Take your fucking dead rag out. But people were just blatantly disregarding it, and then they weren't calling hits. And they airsoft.
It called into question every time you were hit.
Yes.
So it wasn't, airsoft of the old days was like, ouch, I'm hit with a BB, I'm out. Right? Friendly
Correct.
fire count, like, doesn't
Correct.
matter, right? And so it really, because there was so many of them, and they were at weird angles and shit. So if you got shot like at a weird angle,
Yeah.
and you just happen to look and you see one of those windows,
You're like, well, maybe it
you're
came
like,
from there.
but maybe it didn't. Maybe
it
there's a
didn't.
guy
That's
in
right.
the corner who's pissed now.
Exactly.
Because I'm just disregarding it. So it was a tough ruling, and I think we're all in agreement that an AO like that, at the level that you guys are at, play it as it lies.
Yeah.
You know,
and
what
that's the goal, and a small part of that, going back to what you just said a minute ago, is you being the player that we dream of, going, logically speaking,
I got shot.
but I'm not just going to shoot through that because I can't fit my head through that. So I'm going to disregard that because you're doing what everyone should do. And we're going to get to the rule in a minute.
Yeah.
But you did the right thing. Somebody who's not doing the right thing ruins somebody who was doing the right thing. And then the real issue, going back, what you talked about, is that rule stemmed from years ago in AMS, where it started with your fist to keep you through shooting through gaps indoors.
Yeah.
That's kind of where it started. And then it had molded into can't put your head through it, coming through reindeer games where 99% of your issues are straight up exact same size murder holes in the mount site. So if people have not played there, that would be a very difficult AO to play if you allowed everybody to shoot through every single murder hole, because you wouldn't even be able to go in the city. I mean, there's so many murder holes that you could get shot through. You almost wouldn't walk through that area. And that ruling was really specific to reindeer games for the most part throughout the year. Mm-hmm. Then we start going to local events where there's a lot of the wood, what's the pallets?
Yeah.
I can't get shot through pallets. Well, I don't know. I can't put it. Well, and it got to where we started making it specific. Well, again, going to what we said before we started this back up again, is it doesn't matter how many events you do. I learn every time, and we make mistakes all the time. And this event was a huge mistake by me, because I'm the one that runs the safety briefing. I'm the one that handles the stuff like that. And I'm so asphyxiated on ladders and safety spots and places Guardian doesn't want us to go in. And I had a kind of a brain fart, and I'm like, let's just stick with our rule. And I figured that everything was the same. But once the rule is out there,
Yeah.
then everybody's like, oh my God, then I'm out there. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my God.
It also turned into a game of telephone, like Dave was saying on Sunday.
Yes.
Some dudes were just like, oh, well, that ruling's been changed. I sat there and had like a 10-minute debate with a dude.
Right. And
During
so
a firefight, like, just don't do it.
because what happened is it got to where it got a little, obviously more than a little, but it got hairy because a guy was like, I put my head through it. And the guy was like, well, hold on. Well, you have a helmet on. Well, if I take my helmet off and I put my head through it, is that okay too? Then it just gets out of control.
It's rule lawyery.
Exactly.
lawyery.
So then now it just gets to the point where it doesn't matter. It always matters if you're a good player or a bad player, following the rules or not. I'm saying it's so shady now that it's become awful. And so I was thinking this in my head. Something told me to run over and follow Dave when you guys ran right behind me going 100 and murdering all those people. And I sat down with Dave and I go, hey, what do you think about this? Because I mean, and he said it, and it's like, that's it. Next year, because, there's so many things going on. And believe me, when I think that I know how to run an event, I'm learning constantly. And it's unfortunate because last year it was the same rule set for the most part. I don't remember changing it year to year, but maybe it just wasn't an issue. But it needs to be one way or the other for now on. And I think that's what we are going to do, whether it's you don't shoot through anything or you shoot through everything.
I think, even at, where do you guys do range?
Does that make sense?
It does.
At Hood.
Fort Hood. And I've never been to Fort Hood. Is that just just a mount facility?
It's, for instance, yes, I'm not to cut you. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
let's take one building, right, that is in the middle. You would have a door, 2 windows at the top, 3 murder holes at the feet, 3 murder holes at the feet,
Yeah.
2 murder holes in the middle of the middle of the building, and it's all black. So you can't see. So especially if it's, these rooms don't have a lot of light coming in because there's a lot of room changing on the inside.
Yeah.
So you're walking down and you look up and you cannot see anyone.
So,
And it becomes very difficult.
have you ever played that AO, allowing the murder holes?
We have not. I thought about it. It quasi terrifies me but what you said, it's how you said it a couple of different times, but it's like, hey man, you just play it as it lies. You get hit with the BB, it's over.
Yeah.
It's over. Just learn to understand. And that's the one thing that I really wanted to do. And if you guys know the level of stress that I dealt with at Iron Horse in my head about my mistake and those shooting through the holes in the head, it tore me up on the inside. Because now granted, every single person that I'll talk to, I'm like, hey man, you having a good time? Oh my God, great, bye-bye. But then there's also the ones that are frustrated. And I take every single case of frustration probably way too seriously than I need to. But it's part of what we were talking about earlier with the customer thing.
Yeah.
And so, but I'm with you. That is a mistake on our end that some people are like, hey man, what a problem for me. But people that what a problem, it's a legitimate problem. And there should be no question in a rule set. There should be clarity and it should be easy to understand.
Yeah.
And it should be across the board that everybody understands this.
So I think
That's where we messed up.
As
Messed
a
up.
player, right? My mentality, I see the murder holes as a challenge, right?
Yes.
And as much as we think about how that murder hole is going to affect us, we always forget that we can also use the murder holes.
Yeah,
what I mean?
no, exactly.
So if even if somebody was shooting through a dumb little crack in a door,
Right.
great, he's going to kill the first 2 people that go in there. But now I know. Now I know he's behind that door. Now I'm coming up with a plan to how to ruin your day.
Exactly.
Because you're shooting through a door, right?
Right.
And that's
That's
the
good
fun part of
mentality.
Airsoft.
Right. And that's the mentality we want everybody to have.
Yeah, it's gonna
But
be
unfortunately,
challenging.
a lot of people will complain and go bananas about it. And now I'm trying to babysit and that's what's tough.
It's also Milsim.
Right.
It's in your fucking name.
CQB is dangerous.
Yes.
People will shoot through doors. When you clear a room, some will teach that when you clear a room, if there's a door, fucking ram it with your ass in case there's some, scrawny guy with an AK behind there.
It's true. It's reindeer games is over the years, it has been considerably easier and not been a problem because 99% of them are the same size.
Mm-hmm.
But you do have the ones that are in the bottom because the 3rd floor is like a subfloor underground, and you have to kind of jump to see everybody's feet.
Yeah.
But it varies because they put metal on some of them. So sorry, go ahead.
No. I was agreeing with you.
Yeah. I mean, I when you guys said it in the podcast, I'm like, they're right. You know, and
It was tough.
But it's true.
This is what I personally think about it. And you're right, Dave. You ready?
Yeah.
All right. Zulu, I think, does it right. The function.
Oh, well,
I think
different AO.
Right, but I think the biggest function about holes that you can or can't shoot through is to mitigate blind firing. The Zulu safety brief,
I
the
agree
talk
with that.
about shooting through holes is always following no blind firing.
Yeah,
There's
that's a good
obvious
point.
blind firing around the corner, but the main thing is if I can't fit my open hand through it, if I'm going to stick my muzzle through it and look down my optic, especially with this height over bore,
Right.
with the carry handle,
You're just gonna be looking at wood.
now I'm not looking at what I'm shooting at. And now it's blind firing.
Unless it's
So-
a vertical sight line
Now, if
and
I
you
can be-
jam your barrel, you can still see.
So
That's
If
why-
it's like this, it's different.
for
you
our
can
rule set,
you can
it
still
has to be.
you can
can-
still shoot through them.
Yeah.
You just have to be more than 10 feet away.
Yep.
Yeah.
The whole
Right,
point
like that's
is
our
that
rule.
seeing it.
So that you can see what's on the other side of the hole.
And guess what?
You know
Even
what I
if
mean?
it is a vertical slit, if you stick your muzzle through it, you don't see who's walking on the sides. You know, like you don't see the whole picture. You don't.
Wait, wait.
so
No, I see what you're saying. What are you saying about 10 feet?
So I can kind of clarify with
Okay.
with ours. So for prime example, we have a fence around the mosque. There's vertical slits, there's horizontal slits.
Okay.
If I can't fit my open hand through it, I can't put my barrel through it. Now I can still see through the hole. So for our rule set, we tell the players that's fine. If you want to back up so you're 10 feet away from the hole, you can fire through it. Because airsoft guns are relatively accurate. You can land a BB through a slit about 7 or 8 millimeters. It's going to take 5 or 6, but you're going to get it. We just don't want you putting your barrel up to it because like what Anthony's saying there is you can't see horizontally or you can't
Correct.
see the verticality of it. So
Also, somebody
you won't see the
200
player
feet out.
walking.
Somebody 200 feet out with a saw is going to be shooting at that fence.
Yeah.
BBs
Right.
are going to go. Some BBs will go through the cracks.
Yes.
And it'd be like, oh, well, I was on the other side of the fence. You don't get hit
It would
by-"
cause conversation between members of the opposite team, which you never want. The only conversation you want
Is BBs.
is BBs.
Yeah.
I'm hit.
Correct.
And
Right,
not
and I
like
say
that's
that,
it,
yes.
right? And so if you have to sit there and think about it in your head, like, oh well, I did get shot, but he was there, and now you've almost got to like telepathically convince the guy that shot through the hole, like, oh, you can't shoot through that hole.
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah.
mean? So it starts this
So
conversation.
do you have an issue of being two people running up to a fence?
No.
10 feet apart, 5 feet apart, shooting each other, but they're too close, shooting through a crack in the fence. Let's say you and I meet, there's a fence, the hole's this big,
Yeah.
and we're not 10 feet, but we're trying to engage through that hole.
Thankfully, that's extremely uncommon if it ever
Yeah,
happens.
so-
but I mean, it's a possibility.
I
as a
wouldn't want
ref-
to play that game.
Well, so as a ref, I see it happen a lot, actually.
Yeah.
It does. And our player base is mature enough to understand that maybe it wasn't 7 feet or 10 feet exactly. And they're like, all right, you still hit me. Like, that's fair
Yeah.
game. Our player base here is mature enough to understand that.
So when you run, so perfect. I like the way that sounds.
Yeah.
So if you run up to a wall and there's a gap there this big and we can see each other, but we're
Yeah.
not 10 feet, we're like, hey, what's up?
I will also tell you from
Well, that's kind of lame.
knowing
Well,
this-
no, but I'm saying then you back up. But I'm saying,
You could,
let's
yeah.
say you back up and
could.
then you shoot. You're like, okay, well, I'm going to take the initiative. I'm going to back up 10 feet and I'm going to start firing through that hole.
I will also tell you from knowing this field pretty much inside and out, there's like 2 spots where that becomes a thing, and
Yeah.
it's at the mosque. And it's because of the fence around the mosque. And it's just because there's certain parts on the north side where the gap under the fence is like this big. I can't fit my open hand through it, but I can see your feet. And there's a couple holes around the perimeter of the fence that are big enough to sneak a BB through. And mostly it's because players have shot it enough that the wood starts to degrade around it.
Yeah,
But the hole is getting a little bigger
I like
by the
that.
weekend.
I like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I
But
like that.
on the topic of the gaps, being a player, but also understanding how stressful running an event like that probably is, I did notice that a lot of those wood planks are removable. Is it a potential to say to Guardian, hey, can we just remove all those? I know it's going to take fucking 6 hours and 20 people to remove them all.
Yeah.
But it could also mitigate all of these fucking problems if those wooden
Yeah.
planks just
And,
weren't
and
over the
knowing
wood.
them, they probably would.
But changing the rule also mitigates every potential problem.
Correct. That's what I'm
Right?
saying. There's
Yeah.
a likelihood
Yeah.
that either of those could be
Yeah.
the resolution to the problem. I noticed it and I wanted to bring it up because I didn't know if that even came across your mind of like, hey, why don't we just have them remove all these?
Well, we thought about it. I was removing those bat cages, the bat screens, or letting people shoot through
tried
those.
that for
but
a while too.
We tried that, but so in your guys' opinion, I had a question, but I already forgot what it was going to be because it's important. But it's about this. But I do like that aspect of looking at it in that way because I think that it's one of those things where, I know what I was going to say. I mean, we try to make it more AO specific, right? Because different things, obviously different AOs present different challenges, but something like a Guardian when there is so many drastic differences in the gaps all over the place, that's a nightmare. You know, I don't know why I'm caught up in this thing about this, and I'm just as easily convinced to go, hey, we're going to let it run. You get hit with the BB, your head. Just run it. Let's see what happens. You know,
and your chrono limits and all that stuff are like well within. It's not like everybody's shooting super hard, so shooting close sucks or whatever the fuck. Like everything around that is safe. So there should never be an instance, in my opinion, where two opposing players see each other and can't shoot each other. You know what I mean?
Well, it would be that way when you're talking about
here at Open Play. It works when we got rentals and things like that.
Yeah.
You're at a different level.
Well,
yeah, because that's what I was going to say too.
But so you're saying don't use the 10 feet, or
No,
use the 10
don't.
feet?
Let them shoot.
Right.
If there's a hole this big or this big or this big or whatever, 1 millimeter just for a fucking beat, I wouldn't be sticking my barrel through those holes.
So a dude wants to run up with a gap and jam his saw in there, and somebody walks in front.
I wouldn't be doing that.
Well, that's the
saws-
reason why you guys have the break the plane rule with the saws on the
Then I
front
can
door.
use that.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
Do saws have a minimum engagement distance?
Yes.
Okay, so if somebody that happens, and that means
But
somebody.
no, but it's the safety of the other player. This guy might be engaging somebody at 65 feet, but somebody on the other side of the walls of another player is walking, and doesn't know there's a saw jammed in there and takes it into the face.
Well, that's in this case, we're talking about rifles. Rifles at AMS don't have an engagement
Yes,
distance. So
rifles too,
if their windows here and their barrels here, it doesn't make a real difference, the 2 inches, because it's fair game to shoot someone point blank. Is it going to suck if you're walking by with a dead rag on?
Yeah, but that's part of it.
But-
if you know what you're going into, then you're
And
fine.
that's kind of the same thing. The reason why when Anthony brought up the Zulu rule, I said it's a different AO, because you talked about challenges from AO to AO. Our rule set is tailored specifically to this field. It's tailored to the fact that there's 52 weekends a year and probably 48 of them are normal open play.
So I have to take into account first time players with rental guns and shit like that.
Last weekend we had 20 rentals.
So I'd love to sit here and be like, oh, it's a fucking hardcore field. We can use tags even though they're illegal and fucking no engagement distances and 400 FPS. I'd love to do all that, but
I get it.
I can't.
Like our shtick is being friendly to the entire player base.
Yeah.
Like if you came here on a normal open play weekend, you're going to see someone in a dye mask with a speed soft gun like that. You're going to see us in our kit, and you're going to see a rental player that watched a fucking video and thought Airsoft was cool.
Yeah.
We have to cater to everyone, and the rule set has to be tailored to everyone.
Yeah.
So
And I
that's
think
why we have 300 to 350, 400, or 350 to 400, like the breakup of the FPS limit and the open hand rule, stuff like that. That exists because it's open play.
Yeah.
For an op, like Dave said, you guys are one of the, if not only, like super large scale event producers still kind of left that's doing Airsoft specifically, not MSW.
Right.
You guys could basically just say it's big boy rules.
Yeah,
And go for it.
I'd like to.
And I think people would respond to it.
Yeah.
Because now there's no debate. It goes right back down to
I
if you
agree.
get hit with a BB, you're fucking dead. Lay
Yes.
down or sit down or whatever the fuck.
Lay down and die.
Lay down and die.
Lay down and die.
And I love that. And that's why when I was watching the video, legitimately, as you guys were saying that, and after I talked to you in the field, I'm like, we got to change that. We got to change it.
Yeah,
and I love
no,
it. And I love hearing that, because I hadn't thought about it for 20 years. That's something we need to do.
I would even say this for was it reindeer games?
Yeah.
Even
The
for
place is gnarly.
It is, right?
It's gnarly.
But that's what you tell the players. Hey, we're going to allow the fucking murder holes. So, brush up on your fucking skills, Like,
I mean, it's a new challenge, and I think that's something I'm going to do. And I'll talk to Cody. I'd like to do it, to be honest with you. It's kind of got me the itch.
Yeah.
And it gives somebody a whole new change who's been to reindeer games 10 times, who's never not done that. And this is something that we can test it. I'm not afraid to change it.
Maybe you should wear your mouth protection. Maybe you should.
I don't understand why people don't do that.
Maybe you should not try to get by with some bullshit iPro. I think you give them. I think, in my opinion, I think police them way harder on their iPro.
Oh yeah.
And be like, look, because we can shoot through murder holes. Okay,
Yeah.
you will get fucked up.
Well, I saw dudes walking around with weed whacker glasses from Home Depot, and I'm just like, that's.
I think the way no. I think the way that they do their iPro is better.
Oh, it's great. I just
Because
wish,
it puts the responsibility on the player to not be
Well,
fucking retarded.
This is a 20-minute conversation, but you're right. It's like for years, everybody's like, oh, it has the foam pads around the eyes, so it's legal, it's full seal, but I could still finger blast your eye.
you guys really like the Block Eye Pro, because I saw you guys talking a lot about that. We like ESS and Oakley. Those are all great
They're
eye
great.
protection brands.
So
You have the opportunity to have good eye pro. I like the not requiring full seal foam or rubber and make it true like full seal to your face. That's great. just like the weed whacker glasses.
Right.
It's kind of wild.
And it goes back to, I don't know if this leads into another conversation, but it's the player base as well. And I was at a local event this year. We did Atlantic Front, which is over in North Carolina, at a really cool field. And this kid was wearing Holbrooks,
Like the
Oakley
one.
Holbrooks. You know, the sides are completely open. You know,
Yeah,
just
like the Ray-Ban
it's
looking
this.
ones. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, and this is his response, right? So the kid's got decent kit. Didn't look like it's his first time. And he's playing, he's engaging these guys. And I walk up, I'm like, hey, man, what are you doing? He's like, what are you doing? I'm like, what are you wearing on your eyes? You're like, I'm just shocked, right? He goes, well, what do you mean? And I'm like, well, dude, you're wearing Oakley Holbrooks in the middle of a game. I mean, there's people shooting at your face on purpose. And he's like, well, I'm always facing them, so it's going to hit my lens.
The most dick
That's
answer
what he
I've
said.
ever heard.
I said, so nobody, you're not, I mean, I didn't even know what, I said, dude, you need to come with me. We got him off the field. I said, I'm not even going to argue with you. Once you make a statement to me like that, you have no hope. So
Have you seen our Rich and Dick skits?
the what?
Have you seen our Richard and Dick skits?
Not really, no.
He did one with iPro. He's like, I'm a grown ass man.
Oh, wait, maybe I haven't seen that now that I'm thinking about it.
Anthony
Okay.
was walking up the ramp without putting his eye pro on, and he goes, I play here all the time. I never get shot in the eye. I win 100% of the fights I'm in.
Yeah. I mean, he said it.
It's the same
I'm like,
mentality.
please tell me you're joking. I was ready for him to go, no, man, I'm just messing with you. You know, but he wasn't. He was serious.
Also knowing full well that the Oakley Holbrooks are not ANSI rated.
Yeah, and
not part of the SI line.
The guy from Block made it very apparent to me. I talked to the owner, the guy in the UK. He's like, "You need to start this campaign because I think in whole the industry really doesn't understand. I don't. Maybe the industry does. I didn't really know the levels of ANSI rated and how serious it is. And he's like, you need to start a campaign with Block. Blah, blah. You know, I was like, that sounds great, but the players need to be educated more, right?
Yeah.
And I think that, you know, I was thinking about even having, believe it or not, junky glasses, kind of like you're talking about these Home Depot for weed eating,
like
and have a little display and be like, shoot them with an airsoft gun and watch what happens. And then look, you know, just to show people, you know.
So believe it or not, a lot of those safety glasses for construction and all that stuff are the same rating as the Oakleys and stuff.
Okay.
But that rating, I mean, that rating is very clear. Just through working with my insurance and just trying, because I've been trying for many years, I was trying to get away from the full seal.
Yes.
Because it creates more problems than it solves, right? People fog up, and what do?
Can't see, take them off.
Take them off,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. And so I did a deep dive into the Z87 system and the ratings and what's legal in the United States. Like, if you're going to claim this has to be on the glasses themselves and all this stuff. And I think it's absolutely wild that you would spend, in my case, $600 on a plate carrier, but then go and get a $12
It's mind
thing for you. That's,
Yeah.
dude, I will pay $250 for my lenses.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, it's,
Just to protect my fucking eyes, dude.
Only
Like,
got two eyes.
and I've seen it all, believe me. And
Well,
it's
that's-
hard to believe that people will do that.
I mean, we could say it now. I threw Valken iPro out of the shop.
yep.
Valken's out of business now, so I can openly say this. Their airsoft eye protection, the goggles, were not Z87.
So they were probably rated. But in the United States, if you claim that your eye protection is ballistic and it's up to this standard,
Right.
which is the standard that we use, the 87 plus, right?
Yeah.
It has to be on the device somewhere. It has to be.
has to
Like,
be.
it's
Has
the
to be.
law. It's
It
the
has to
law.
be. Yeah.
And
It has to be on the lens and the frame.
whatever the ballistic surface is,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And I can't remember. Somebody came over. We check everybody's iPro over here because we get some crazy shit every once in a while.
It was on the anniversary game.
Yeah. And I was like, where'd you get this iPro? And he's like, oh, the shop. And I was like, okay, let's walk over there. I took those things apart because they hide them in dumb spots. They hide the rating in dumb spots. So it's not, and it wasn't on there.
Yeah. And then I called my sales rep and I was just like, hey, man, these aren't Z87. You've been selling these to me for like a year. And he goes, oh, no, they are. They passed the European and the Asian standard. I was like, cool, that's not Z87 plus. Z87 is the American standard. He's like, no, they pass everything. So then I took a pair outside and I shot them specifically on the corner of where the goggle strap meets the frame and the fucking one BB. And it shot straight off. I was like, cool, that's someone's face during an airsoft game. And I still have 24 pairs in the back because they refused to give me a refund.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
That's crazy.
pulled everything Valken iPro, like they're out of business. So fuck
Yeah.
That's
Maybe that's why.
maybe that's why.
Maybe they couldn't give you a refund.
Yeah.
Finally.
But I do like how in your safety brief, you're very clear. Like, these are your eyes. You protect them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, obviously you're going to catch some egregious shit, but like, it's up to the player. Like, hey, don't be a fucking retard. Like, we're at this level, so act like it. And
Right.
part of acting like it is understanding that you need to take care of your own fucking eyes.
It's
right?
just like you said, it's wild that dudes will spend $600, $700, $800 on a kit.
And not have the right.
$10 iPro.
Yeah,
I fucking hate it.
I just don't understand it. It blows
I
my
tell
mind.
parents all the time in here when they come in and their kids getting into Airsoft and mom and dad are getting them their first gun. I'm like, buy the cheapest fucking gun, but buy these $100 pair of ESS iPro and the gasket and everything, because this is the best fucking iPro they can use and they're going to be safe.
Right.
Like, I'd rather see them run around with really expensive iPro and the cheapest gun I sell.
And it has, like you said, the problems of the fogging and people taking them off, and like at our events, the fobs are not a safe place. We don't want to promote anybody taking off glasses at any time, and we have noticed a big drop in people yelling, blind man, blind man, blind. We just don't see it as much.
Yeah.
A couple times maybe, but we bounced around the idea of having the strap and make sure it's staying on your head. But at the end of the day, I think if you're wearing glasses anyway and people are bumping into you, I mean, you have just as good a chance of them coming off.
Yeah.
It does, I'm not really worried about
Your glasses are falling off your head.
Yeah, then,
Because you bumped into somebody.
But some of those weed whacker things you're talking about, dude, they're not exactly like
They're not
snug.
perfect.
I mean,
Yeah,
you
they're
just
not perfect.
and they come off.
I honestly think most of those cases are people taking off their iPro.
Yeah.
If it's not shitty iPro that's actually breaking and falling apart, it's them taking it off. Like bumping into somebody and your iPro falling
Or
off.
somebody swings a gun or an elbow, or you catch one to the face.
Sure.
Stuff like that, in tight quarters and stuff like that. But
Yeah, you're not doing it intentionally, but you bump into someone and then their iPro.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, and I'm not saying that the weed whacker glasses aren't anti-rated. I'm just saying they're really bad fucking eye protection for Airsoft.
Yeah,
That's a
would not
shitty
do
choice.
that. I would not do that.
Oh,
But I like how you put that in the players'
yeah.
responsibility kind of. I like that, right? Because that says step up, which is why I think you should run reindeer games with the murder holes, right? Step up.
I think we are.
step up.
I think you've talked me into it already.
Well, there we go.
I think so.
500
I just love you to come
FPS.
see it.
When players just complain about it nonstop, just send them my way.
I'll be like, hey, it's Dave's fault. And I'm saying the safety briefing. I'm like, look, man, Dave talked me into it. I mean, nobody wants to hear this, but if it was up to me, I would love to see FPS go to 450 or higher.
Yo.
I mean, I would love it.
You and
I
this guy.
500 FPS, no med.
That's fine. Here's the way I look at it. Let me just tell you right now. I mean, this is stupid. Of course, I'm just saying. But if we're going to go out there and play, if we were going to use sim rounds, we wouldn't have a hit calling problem. Right? So
it depends on which one.
Well, you know what I'm saying. So
I agree with you.
I see a lot of BBs hit people's backpacks, don't make enough noise, don't make enough impact. Now, granted, it's always scalable. I get it. But at this day and age, with the guns, the technology, it's even more big boy. I mean, at the same time, I would like to see more of that. I would. I mean, my buddy Jonathan at Airsoft Barracks down in Jacksonville, they run hardcore 450, 475, full auto, no engagement disc. I mean, they run all these crazy games. And he's like, Bo, never have a hit calling problem ever. Nobody complains about it. Everybody knows
It's because they're dead.
I mean, I'm not saying I want to go, AMS is going to go to 450 or 425. I'm just saying.
It's
Silica
funny
BBs permitted.
It's funny you bring that up unprompted, because for a year now I've been saying I want to play a game, 500 FPS, no med, real caps only mouth guards, no face bro.
Oh, well, you might as well play naked. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, but I get it.
Like no full iron faces, just mouth guards.
Yeah, mouth
500
guards.
FPS, no
Well,
med,
that's fine.
Real
Yeah.
caps only.
Helmet, fine, all that.
Yeah, that's fine.
No
Like,
padding.
Make-
Bo's email answering loadout. Straight in your underwear.
Because to me, if you say 500 FPS, no med, you're going to get one of two people. You're going to get people that are like, okay, I'm going to drink the juice and this is going to be an interesting experience. Or you're going to get the dude that shows up with like the full fencing mask for his fucking face. Bro.
Yeah, right.
I'm leaning towards you got to drink the juice on this.
Yeah, I agree.
Because you also extend the range of airsoft guns when you get to that high of a velocity.
Yeah, you do.
I mean, yeah, a bit, something like that would be cool to do a change, to try something different in the industry. Like, I have an idea. I can't talk about it now, but there's stuff that we're working on that is going to be drastically different.
I think you could, as a stepping stone, because currently you're like industry standard, like 365. I know it's like 1.5
I think
joules
we're
or
actually
whatever.
lower.
I think you are actually
than a few.
So I would just bump that up to whatever the joules are for a 2.5 at 400.
Oh yeah.
That's
Yeah.
That's
what
like
would that put a 2.0 at? Ish.
That would be 450.
450,
It would be
420 or
450
something.
with a 2.0. Because to be fair, I don't really know many event producers that still chrono with a 2.0. Because I remember that was an issue the first time you guys came.
Yeah.
They chrono with 3.2.
Now we switched it. We just switched it.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
It's all joules now.
Actually, if we're gonna talk critiques for a minute, that
Oh,
was
that's right.
super confusing at chrono. So like I read the chrono rules on the website.
1.52.
1.52, and then we got to chrono, and there was one sign that said 1.5, and then there was another sign that said 400, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
That might have
here?
been a misplaced by Fatco putting that out, or that might have been a confusion on us. I don't know why.
But then it was even more weird because like I checked both of our guns because we were running gas blowback M4s to make
Dude.
sure they were shooting exactly 305 to 310 with 3.2s. We got there. The temperature was the exact same as when we left New York. Like Georgia and New York just had the same weather that time. And all of a sudden our guns were shooting 330. But then we went to the chrono right next to it. And now our guns are shooting 290.
Yeah.
It's been like 30 seconds. We're like, what the
Interesting.
fuck?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I had to. My gun failed chrono, and I was like, "What?" It was like way out, like 1.6 or 1.7 joules. I was like, "What?
Yeah.
Like what the fuck?" And then so I like went to him because I was like, "Hey, dude, did you pass chrono?" He's like, "Oh yeah, I did." And then so I got in the AEG line and passed chrono, and then I went back to the other line and failed chrono.
Well, one line was for HPA specifically,
Correct.
and one's for.
But the muzzle velocity shouldn't change.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
and
well-
also everybody was chronoing with 3.2s, right?
yeah.
So the joules,
On
the
top of
chronos were set up properly. I saw
It'll
that. but-
calculate joules based on the
An
FPS reading that each chrono should get if they're both, if they're calibrated right.
Right.
Maybe if a chrono drops, it's really just checking distance and time. When does it read the BB? Because there has to be two sensors, and it's measuring the time between the BB passes the first one and the second one, so that it can know what its velocity is. The joule is just a calculation based on the BB weight you put in, and then it takes that FPS and it just puts it into the equation.
Well, the other
So
Yeah.
they should be reading the same FPS as what
They should,
saying.
but
The
they
other
weren't.
weird part
Yeah,
was
yeah.
that
That's weird.
They weren't.
at
Yeah.
that point in time,
I need to find
We
out
were
what's going on with that.
yeah.
I wish you to come to me, or
It was
I
just
thought my gun. No, I thought
Yeah, 'cause we
like
thought it was
because of
guns.
the weather, maybe in the car. I don't know. Like
You know what's funny, bro?
airsoft guns are weird.
You say come to me, and you say that to everybody, and everybody comes to you, and then you're busy.
yeah.
no, that's not true. No, because I will designate. Hey, it's called designating.
Yeah.
So like,
Yeah.
if you come to me with an issue, I will go to someone and go, "Hey, you need to fix this now."
Yeah.
Like that's what I try to do. And
so-
I mean, that's because if somebody has an issue at chrono and they deal with somebody else and they're not liking the answer they get, I want them to come to me. Then I'll be like, pick up the phone, dude. You need to fix this, right? And that's what I try to do.
Well, it also wasn't in that moment that we were processing that, like, hey, maybe there's a problem with the chronos. We were just like, fuck, like our guns have adjustable valves in them.
Yeah, I thought-
let's get the
yeah, I
guns
was like, oh,
shooting
shit.
correctly.
Okay.
Wasn't until later when we were sitting down talking, I realized I'm like, 90% of the people that went to the HPA line failed.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
there were dudes just a second line. Like you went into the line to shoot, and then you got on the second line for the reshoot because there were so many people that were like, "Fuck, my gun's shooting."
Well,
fine.
I
My gun
haven't
was
not
shooting."
heard anything about that. That's
They
crazy.
rigged
Yeah.
the line.
It was
Well-
really weird at that moment.
The other thing too is on your rules on your website, right? It's 1.52. When you get there, it's 1.5. And there was a guy in front of me that was like 1.51, and they were like, "No, you got to bump it
And he
down."
like,
and I was like,
he
"Wait."
pulled up his phone.
I was like, "I thought it was 1.52." Not
Yeah,
that
it's
that
whatever's
really,
on the website.
Yeah, he pulled up
Even
his
if we
phone.
have a mistake,
Yeah.
we have to go by what's on the website.
Yeah, he pulled up his phone and was like,
Okay.
website says 1.52. And I don't know who was running chrono, but he was just like, no, it's 1.5, man.
Okay, I'm gonna just remind Cody.
Which, again, maybe we're also the guys that nitpick every fucking thing.
Sure.
No, but here's the thing. Like that's a very elementary way to put it. But if you own a Mexican restaurant and your cheese sucks, people need to tell you so you can go get a new cheese.
That's right. I always tell these guys, I'm like,
I gotta know.
yeah, you don't learn too much from a good review.
No.
Hey, you had a great time.
Right.
In every bad review, regardless of how ridiculous they can all be, right? In every bad review, there's a kernel of something there. Right?
Absolutely.
Like they
I
had a
mean,
bad time for a reason. So you
I'm
got to like figure out what that reason was.
And I'm a full 100% believer in. I mean, nobody does everything right all the time.
No.
We are constantly learning, and that's the part of being a part of this community as a whole. Is that we all understand what's going on. We're trying, we're doing our best, and things like this happen, and we just correct it. You know, it's that simple.
It's so disheartening to people that like go out of their way to say something nice. Like, yeah, that was a great time, and you're just like, yeah, whatever. I want to hear the bad review.
Okay. Well, with that being said, like, and this is something that's very like, it's funny you say that, but it's very. I'm a pretty emotional guy. All right. So, but at the same time, when somebody walks up to me and, hey, dude, I'm having an unbelievable weekend, like that goes so far to me because I have spent these billions of hours stressing about this company over the past 13 years. And everything I think about is, are you having fun? Are you happy? Or, you paid to come here this weekend. You spent money, blah, 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 all this. Every single person that walks up to me that says something good, obviously it means that something went right for them, and I did something right at the time. And then the stuff that doesn't go 100% right, I want to know about it so I can fix it. I'm an idiot if I believe that we had everything right, we have everything figured out, because we don't. We are learning constantly because the player base teaches us a lot, and we need to listen to what they have to say, and we need to make the proper adjustments. That's just how it is. I'm a firm believer in that.
That's yeah. That's how everybody should be. That's how they should be, right? Like you can't drink your own Kool-Aid.
You know what I learned from the good reviews? I'm awesome.
Yeah,
I'm badass. I never make mistakes.
I get it though, because we've been running, we call them Milsim days here, where it's this other rep, Dylan, and I basically doing like a 4-hour game, 4 to 6 hours, depending on the time of the year. And in the beginning, I was kind of following the Dave mentality. It's like, I want to hear all the bad things, but then it started to dawn on me, every person walking up at the end of the day being like, man, that was great. Like I had a fun time. Thank you. It started to click where I was like, okay, we're doing something right.
Right.
It makes you feel good.
It does.
You're just sitting there going, at least that guy had fun. And I'm not saying people have had a bad time at Milsim Day, but at least hearing it from players where at the end of the day, they come up, we're stressing, running around for 4 hours. Like, fuck, everything needs to happen perfectly at every single time.
Yes.
Hearing, hey, dude, I had a lot of fun today. There was one game where Dylan and I, for about 3 hours, were having a mental panic attack because our props were getting broken. The objectives weren't going on time. Like,
I know what that's like.
yeah,
This is what I do with reviews, right? Count the good ones, study the bad ones.
Yeah,
works.
Absolutely. I mean, it's
Don't assume anything about yourself. Nothing changes because you got a good review.
Yeah.
Like that just means you helped somebody out. Now you might get a good review from somebody that's probably cheesing something that you're doing wrong. They're like it's working in their favor. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, I don't know, the murder hole, right? Somebody might be like, I love that you can't shoot through murder holes.
Right,
or
right.
Whatever the fuck it is, right?
that just means they don't have to pay attention.
Yeah, something like that.
So
Count the good ones, study the bad ones.
absolutely.
So one thing I would
100%.
definitely keep doing though, and we're going to sound like shills here.
What's that mean? What's that sound like? What?
Shill.
What's that?
Shill means that like I'm purposely going out of my way to like bring up a specific company or item. You know what I mean? I'm shilling for them. I'm promoting. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if this was AMS wide or if it was just our commander who set up the Ares Alpha.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Did AMS do that, or was that just our commander?
This is something we are actively working on. Whether I don't know if you're going horrible or good with this scenario, but
We're going great.
okay, you're going great.
Yeah, that's why you said we're going to
Okay.
sound like a shill, because we
No, that's cool. It's we tried GoTac for
Yep.
a while
Yep.
with Guerrilla Dynamics, and it was very complicated
Yeah.
Yes.
our player base,
Yes, it was.
and not dogging our player base. It's complicated for me. I couldn't do it, but it is an awesome feature that was really good, had a lot of features. I loved it. But at the same time, Rich, who was already kind of mentally invested in Ares Alpha, loved it. It worked.
Yep.
His players are using it, and it's getting better, and he has really promoted that. And then we switched over and tried to get everybody on it. And this is something that's kind of not in my realm because there's only so much that I can handle mentally about everything that we do. And this is something we've kind of given the commanders to run. And the feedback has been pretty good on it.
Yeah.
If we can get them to do it more and more.
They did a great job. Whoever made the map did a great job.
Okay, good.
And it was neat to, we use it here for Milsim Days.
Okay.
And it's fantastic. The company, the Ares Alpha actually makes props,
Yes.
capture points.
Yes.
That live update on the map,
We have looked into that.
which would be, we're going to get them here because they're
Yeah.
just,
They're cool.
Yeah.
They have a lot of cool stuff.
yeah.
Were you guys running white cell for Ares Alpha? Like, were you guys in the administration building, like looking at the Ares Alpha map and looking at both teams?
Yeah. So
Did
Cody,
the other team use it?
yeah. So Cody, I think Russell's using it, not to the extent it used to be. all Aries Alpha and all GoTac. Right, Green was using GoTac with Russell and Virus back in the day, and then Rich was always using it. We needed to combine them, and that's something we're really working on. We can have an entire new podcast on goals that we're trying to accomplish, but that is the two were kind of working separate, and now we're starting to merge them together. Yeah. But Cody, in his game control, sometimes he's got 4, sometimes there's 3, but he has, he can see what each commander is seeing at their computers, at their fobs, and his control, how he controls everything. But yes, we do merge and watch.
That's awesome.
So what we do is at the end of like a Milsim day, Aries records the entire game.
Yeah, and Rich will send it to me and go, look what happened the whole weekend.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's
we
cool.
post the playback.
Yeah.
So
we just speed it up.
Yeah.
We speed it up a little bit. So it's like 2 or 3 minutes, for a 4-hour or 6-hour game. And you can watch it. It's so cool. It's so cool to watch because you remember in your head, you're like, oh, we had a real good push. I don't remember when it was. Oh, right. There it is. There and you can like see this bulge start to happen. That's cool. I didn't even know we had enemy to our left or whatever, Yeah. The player base has latched onto it pretty good.
They're taken to it?
Yeah, for the most part. We still got to remind them, but...
Well, that also reminds me because, even then, the last Milsim day was 2 or 3 weeks ago. I've got players messaging me already going hey, you're going to post a playback? I'm like, I gotta edit
cool.
that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And I think if we can get more of the players to use that, even the players that, we don't really discuss it in the pre-player emails. I know Rich sends out a lot of stuff, 3 or 4 emails before, so does Russell, to the player base.
Yeah.
Everything that's going on, here's what to expect. And a lot of that is in there. But if the players we probably need to have a more of a specific time during the day when you could go see a CO and talk to them and make sure you're set up. And, they try. I mean, they could be, and I don't even know it.
Aries makes it super streamlined.
It's super.
Yeah, you just scan a QR code and you're in the game.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And it was kind of funny because we were planning on using, because you can use it just intra-squad before we realized that you guys were using it. Yeah. And so we were just going to make our own basically server or whatever so that we could see each other.
That's cool.
So that we could, coordinate off of that. And then I saw when I got the player email, I was like, oh shit, they're using it. I was like, right on, man. We'll just jump into theirs, dude.
And we, at times when we remember, we set it up with the admin so we see where everybody is.
Yeah.
Because I'm on the radio. I'm like, J-Rod, where are you? Where are you? Where are you? What are you doing? What are you doing? I want to know where everybody is to make sure they're in the fight and not off the field and all that kind of stuff. So at times we use it too.
Yeah. It makes it easier because even while that game is running, you can scan them all in as game masters and you can see where they are with in comparison to the players.
Yeah, that's cool. That is cool for sure. Well, that's good feedback. I'll definitely tell them.
It's cool. Yeah. And I think with the incorporation of the capture points, and now every player is now live updating. Like they can look at their map and say, it's just like a video game. Like, oh shit, fucking Sierra Dynamics has that area or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, and the Jet has his stuff, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah, he did.
His is interesting because I've played a Desert Fox game. They're using geofencing, so you don't have to scan anything. You don't have to use any RFID tags like you do with the Aries one. The moment you cross into whatever boundary they've made, it's like Conquest and Battlefield. It just automatically starts capping, which is neat.
Yeah.
It's just I haven't seen him run any games on the East Coast in a while.
Yeah. So. That's a neat feature because then you could just make anything a capture point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can make the grassy knoll a fucking capture point.
Yeah. So that's cool.
Aries could easily incorporate that.
Sure.
They could, but
they sell props.
Their app, I was going to say their app is free. They have to monetize it somehow.
And don't they have like pieces that you could set in your own props that market? And which is
yeah.
I mean, they use geofencing for the UAV and the EMP.
Yeah, they do.
Yes, but again, they're a business and they're trying to make a profit, and it's a free service. Yeah. So the props are paid, and it makes sense. It's
totally I'm 100% on board with this.
I mean, they could charge. I mean, companies we would pay them to use it for that event.
And I think that might be, if I'm critiquing it, I think that might be part of the problem with the Desert Fox app. Excuse me, because it could have caught on. They had a head start on Aries.
Yeah, they did.
But I remember when Dave and Mario looked at renting the service of the app.
We did too.
Subscribing to it. Yeah.
It was aggressively expensive.
I was like, we ain't there yet.
Yeah. So for a smaller field.
It was a licensing fee.
Yeah, it's a licensing.
Yeah. Which is, I mean, you don't blame them. I mean, they work all the way to do it.
There's a lot of work into it. But you're not going to get the app widely used and adopted by other places when it's that expensive.
Yeah.
Aries is free, so it's beneficial because even us not having the props, we run some pretty in-depth games with it here.
Yeah,
and it
which
works
is cool.
really well. It's just, the props would make life easy.
Yeah.
No, but I think you should definitely keep incorporating that because
it's great.
There's never a time where you're like, what's going on? because you can answer your own question.
Yeah.
All you do is you sit there, you look, okay, this is what's going on.
If we could get every player on it, that would be awesome.
Well, that's
something we need to.
that's
push
Dave's
even
argument
more.
with the props, because we always talk about it here. How do we get player engagement with the app up more and more? Because we're at like 50%, 50-60% on a Milsim day. But if
I'm sending a message on that, yeah, you're right. I'm just remind myself, dude.
If all of the objectives are using Ares props, now to participate in the scoring aspect of the game, you have to have the app, which then kind of forces the players to have to use it.
Yeah.
Whether they like it or not, that's different. But if you're making the game based around that app, now they're forced into it.
Even if Ares Alpha, they have their props you could buy. If they even had features that maybe, and I'm all for them making their money. Everybody's got a nut. You know? Like, what if they added the geofencing capture points? Is like you could pay for it. Because like you don't understand that if they did that,
I would do that.
They would incentivize buying the prop, but paying the subscription to be like, hey, the geofence. It would actually be cool too if there's some way, because like you have the app and the app uses your GPS. It'd be cool if once you get in the geofence of a game that's happening, not a capture point, but an entire game, like the guy making the game can geofence the entire map. Once you enter it, be like, do you want to join this game?
I feel like that would be a little
sure.
more
That's
complex.
just quality of life stuff. Yeah,
The geofencing as a subscription model would be interesting.
I do hear it drains the battery.
No, not as bad as you think.
Okay.
Yeah, I for Saturday at Iron Horse,
You left it running all the time,
All
or
the
you
time.
pop it on?
I
and then
left
you
it
go
on.
into it, and then you get off, or do you leave it?
I just leave it
at
on.
running?
ATAC is a lot more draining.
yeah,
That was bad.
I think I started at 100, and I think by the end of Saturday night, I was at like 79%. or
Oh,
something
okay.
like
Well,
that.
maybe it's not that bad.
My
No,
phone's
it's
a
not that
little
bad.
older.
Maybe my brain is still GoTech.
Well, like my phone's a little bit older. I was down to like 40%.
Yeah.
Which still, I was like, I'm shocked that I still have battery because I'm used to ATAC and GoTac where they just drain the fuck out
Yeah.
of the phone.
And there's so many portable batteries now.
Yeah, I brought 3. I didn't use a single one.
Yeah.
But
But anyway, do we have any other gripes? Do we have any other gripes?
Yes,
in that
I have
episode?
one.
Yes,
And
I
it's-
have one.
what's yours?
Dead rags.
Oh, okay. That's going to be
Oh
quick.
wait,
Yeah, y'all
so
might
we
be in
were
trouble on
wrong.
this
No,
one.
no, we were wrong.
Yeah, y'all might be in trouble on this one.
We
So
were wrong.
It does say red in the rules.
It says red.
It does.
It does
And,
say.
and is the argument there that orange is brighter? Absolutely. But it just says red. And then
Yeah,
I'm like,
no, he's right.
Then it goes back to the conversation we had 30 minutes ago. It's like, hey, man, I don't want to be a turd, but it's the wrong color.
Hey,
and-
standards is standards.
yeah,
I'm colorblind.
color deficient.
Anthony's
Right.
actually colorblind.
I'm color retarded.
and it's
No, wait. What C-tard? What were all the derogatory terms
I mean-
for colorblind people?
That's terrible.
He sent me a post.
That is terrible.
Right? He's like, we need to come up with derogatory names for colorblind people, and the comments just unleashed. And some of the
I bet
other
they were bad,
comments,
yeah.
They were bad.
the comments are either very creative names. The other ones were like, "Hey, I really don't appreciate this right now. Like, what did I do to deserve this?"
But I get it. Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean,
No. Absolutely correct. Because even after the game, I was like, there's no way it says red.
It does.
I was like, it probably says dead rag, and everybody just in their head says red. Nope, sure as shit. It says fucking red.
It also
Well played.
helps that AMS gives out a dead rag with your packet.
yeah.
I still think that red is a bad color.
We can die on that hill, yes. But
Yeah,
AMS
that's a whole
does
other
do say-
conversation, right?
Yeah,
but yeah, so we do give everybody a dead rag, so they can't really complain they don't have one.
Sure.
But,
Yeah.
And I do say in the safety briefing, I'm like, look, odds are you played airsoft before. So if you're coming to an event like this, I'm sure you got a dead rag somewhere tucked in your kit, an extra one. We're giving you one. I got a couple. Please make sure you have one.
I don't. Oh.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck is he doing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you're talking about our war crimes.
No, we committed. Well, I guess beyond the
Yeah,
dead rag,
That's a whole other thing.
we committed a war crime, and I saw it coming from a fucking mile away.
No, we did not.
Well, we did not, but
Dan
members of
did.
our
Dan and
group
Josh.
did. And Josh had been like, Josh and I both have bad knees, and he has like actual torn shit in there that just hasn't gotten fixed or whatever. And he got killed. We were crossing a road. He got killed right in the middle of the road.
Right
And
next
our medic was the next one coming. And I was like, no, fuck. And I saw it happen, and they just touched and then ran across. And I was like, oh, there it was. And Anthony said that he looked up because we were right by the admin building. Anthony said he looked up and he saw Cody with his arms crossed, just like in the wind.
Through like
He
a
always
tinted
has that
glass.
look.
And I wanted to get a pic. It was such a great photo. It was like that
Because
was
he said 1,000 words with his eyes.
that would
Or
be,
behind
that would
his
be
glasses.
that photo of Cody
yeah, he
would
was
be
inside
in your
wearing his
guys' group
sunglasses.
chat for years.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Dude,
and he was standing there, like, and as I'm pulling my phone out, like he sees me doing that, and he just like like fades away. He fades away into the tinted dark.
I haven't looked. My helmet camera was on. I wonder if you see him back up in the video.
Oh, dude. As soon as I saw it happen, I was like, fuck.
It's like a paranormal encounter.
And hey, and I do recognize that in the safety briefing. I'm like, look, hey, we get it. Once in a while, unless it was intentional, but once in a while, your head goes back to your other event promoter you go to or open play, and you're like, oh my God, he's dead. We're in the middle of it. You go grab a plate carrier and start running. It happens. Yeah. So we're like, admins are like, whoa. Just you got to go back and get dragged, and unless you're doing it on purpose and being a turd, well, then that's all I'm saying.
I felt so.
It took about 90 seconds, and then
it was very quick.
An admin appeared, and he was just like, "I've been getting complaints about this specific group all day. You guys need to drag players." And we're like, "Okay, well, hold on." It happened once.
Legitimately happened once.
Right.
Like,
It legitimately happened once.
I don't
and we
know
all
why they would say
roasted
that. They
him.
should not say that.
We were
well, I actually have a theory about that, right? So I have a theory about why he said that. And we brought 12 boss units.
Oh, I said it
we
at the
were
beginning.
loud. So anytime that somebody thought or felt like they were slighted, you could hear us. So
yeah,
like
maybe
so.
so,
Oh, it must have been.
maybe so,
It must have been those guys. So maybe that's where I was coming from. I mean,
I said it in the parking lot prior to the game starting. I was like, "Okay, everybody ready? We're either going to be the most loved or most hated group at this event."
Yeah, exactly.
But you're right. You get the ping put on you because you're out there shooting those, and then that makes sense.
Yeah, we totally.
But those things are awesome.
I dragged people. I felt so strong dragging James Lander. I pulled him through, right? And then Dave was down. And I had to drag him, and I was like,
So
it's like, what the fuck, Dave?
I say at the briefing, hey man, if you're not strong enough to pull them, you better get some help.
on the topic
No
of
more
that-
donuts on the podcast.
on the topic of that, last year when you went to this game, we had a conversation on the podcast that you didn't think it was on brand with the AMS
No, that was MUTC
for the drag.
for the drag.
Oh, I thought it was for the last Iron Horse.
No.
I think you're right. It was for the MUTC game.
For our event,
yeah,
At MUTC, yeah.
At
yeah.
the
MUTC,
first one or the
drag.
second one?
Well, which one did we go to?
Big
we
one?
went to the
Big one.
1,000 players. Yeah,
Yeah, big one. It was because I remember specifically I died on like rocks,
Yeah.
and I was like, "Don't drag me! Don't
Right. And I'm
fucking
saying that.
drag me!"
In the safety brief, I'm like, hey man, always ask the person first. Hey,
Right.
are you okay if I drag you? And some people are like, do not drag me.
Well, so what I was going to say there was, I actually, I remember agreeing saying it's not on brand. I was okay with it.
Yeah, I have changed my opinion on
Yeah.
that. Yeah,
I was okay
Well,
with it.
there's a
AMS
bigger
was good.
picture to that, right?
Sure.
So, that's a whole nother conversation. But in a nutshell, to squeeze it in, it's basically we are trying to get the medics to work with the squads, stay with the squads stay together, do your stuff together. And if you're easily moved from one place to the other, medics are not a big deal. They're a valuable asset in the game.
Do you know what? We saw that.
It's a big piece of it.
We experienced that. We had medics near us pretty much at any point. And medics seemed to really serve that function, and we didn't feel like we were without it at all.
That's good because
Yeah.
a lot of people, they want to. I say it in the entire event, when I do the safety briefing and all that. But I'm like, it's not open play. It can be if you want it to be, but that's stupid. That's not why you're here. Run with your squad because we have a lot of new players. That's a whole nother conversation. But stay with your squad, run your stuff, keep your medic in the back.
Yeah,
And the dragging, the moving, explaining all that, it really helps. And that's kind of a bigger picture of what we're trying to accomplish. It's we're right where we want to be. It's kind of event and kind of things that we want to do. And we're not trying to be something we're not or below or whatever it is. But this has always worked for us with the bandages and the dragging, and people like it. It's different.
So
it's different.
I've heard a lot. Well, I understand why you do the bandages.
Yeah.
I also understand that even we do. We use tourniquets, right?
We do.
This is my opinion of the bandage. Correct me if I'm wrong. You have the band because there's actually a certain length
4 feet.
that they have to be, right?
yeah.
So is it because it takes time to do that? Is that the time thing?
Yeah. So, and again, a lot of times I will skip that part in the safety briefing, but I'm like, at the end of the day, we cannot simulate combat casualty, and we don't want to.
Yeah.
But it is it is difficult and it's cumbersome. And so the big part of it is to have the players have it wound up, and it's supposed to take time. It's supposed to be kind of difficult. I don't think that you should be able to go up and go, you're back in.
Yeah.
Like I want it to be, it's a problem. You're down. You got shot. It needs to be different than that. It needs to be an experience or, dude, I'm down. Find the ace bandage. Just get it on. Don't have a ball of crap. Make sure it's wound up. It gets stuck on people's Velcro and their helmets, and it's flying in the wind. And I'm like,
People
look,
try that. They try to just tie it on.
yeah. And so we're like, hey, man, in the sport of what we're doing in the spirit of the game, like this is what you need to do. And so it is difficult. It takes time.
It's supposed to be.
It's supposed to be,
Yeah.
and
No, I
that's the goal,
appreciate
the
that.
dragging, the bandaging. And it came out at ESR 19 a long time ago. Blake goes, we're going to come out with, and we're going to use 2 bandages and an IFAK. I'm like, it's a great idea.
Yeah.
I love the tourniquets are great. And I think it's you that told me about the buddy aid,
But it'd be cool.
there's cool.
However, at this Guardian Center, it was fine. Like,
Yeah.
we had medics with us the whole time. I don't know if that's just because we had enough people to have 2 squads.
Yeah.
So we kind of all rolled together. So we kind of had 2 medics. You know what I mean?
Which is good. But if you don't have medics, it sucks.
It does
The walk-in-
suck.
It can turn into a walk-in simulator.
I was going to say, I'll stir the pot and say I still want it to be buddy aid. The first hit.
Or I think I talked about you about it, about having like it's like you've got your medic, right? But then you have like a CLS. So the CLS can only heal your first hit. The medic can heal everything, but the CLS can only, he's your buddy aid. He's your one guy in the squad that can buddy aid, but he can't heal you on your second
So
hit.
it's almost like a secondary medic.
Yeah.
Well, CLS, combat lifesaver, right?
Yeah,
it's
right,
just
right,
a guy that's a little bit trained up, right?
Right.
I was a CLS in the Marine Corps, right? Just to give you that,
idea.
the little bit of flexibility on your first hit.
Yeah.
I get that. I get that.
Also, like you're saying, I needed a medic desperately Sunday, and you guys were all in the parking lot.
Yeah.
There you go.
Brother, I was trying to get my knees working again.
I'm
It's
calling
moving slow.
Both of our medics were in different cars than I'd driven to the game with, and we realized that both of those cars were not at the game yet. And it's like an hour and a half into Sunday, and we're all holed up in a building going, "Okay, we're taking casualties. Where's our medic?" So like they're still shooting. I'm on the phone with Dave going, "Hey, can you send Nick out here? I need a fucking medic right
medic.
now."
Well, there you go.
And then I'm like, hang up with him, call Kevin. I'm
God.
like, "Can you send Dan out here? I need a medic." And he's like, "Well, we don't think we're gonna play." I'm like, "I don't fucking care. Send me the patch." I was like, "I need a medic patch.
Right.
We have to go back now."
Yes, you got to go back to the Bob to get it.
I was trying to get my legs working again.
But in a nutshell, like I love I do appreciate like everything, but I want to know also, you guys had a good time.
Yeah. And,
I mean,
it was fun.
I feel
Okay, good.
I feel like we were pretty clear about that.
Yeah, you
in
were,
the podcast.
you
Like,
were. But I want to make sure that, there's a lot of things that we are doing right.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of stuff that I think that we definitely need to work on for sure. And I love hearing the good and the bad, but I love hearing the good that could be better. Like a buddy aid, or like things that you talk about. Hey, look, man, I like this, but if you did this, and it's things I might not have thought of, and we open that up, and we're looking at doing through Hop Up with the service about a survey at the end of every event.
Yeah.
So we're going to start doing it. How was your CO? How did you like the EO? And get the feedback
Sure.
to really help, because it's like I said before, it all matters, man. I want to know. I want to know.
Yeah, honestly, like for that whole game, the only thing that I think I could really critique you on, like you guys could tweak this, is that shooting through holes thing. Otherwise, any bad moments I had were really just player-based issues.
Yeah.
And I'll say this too, during the safety brief, he said, "Show of hands, how many people is this your first AMS event?" Like majority.
Yeah, that was
It's a lot.
Yeah.
It is a lot.
And we were trying to diagnose why people act like that, and we were praising the Zulu player base. I mean, these people come every weekend. Everybody knows each other, and like
That's right.
it's
right.
like, and there's people that follow the AMS trail and play at every event, and it's not their first event. And I'm sure those games run a lot better than the guys that are playing for the first time. I mean, they have the biggest learning curve because they have whatever places they play at, whatever events they attend that are different. So there's that learning curve for the rules and muscle memory habits. But then there's also just, they don't know anybody there, and they might have this perception that this is like,
Exactly.
And then I'm here to get cheaters here.
Right,
And I watched an Airsoft Airsoft video.
I think they
and
call
Swamp
those ones,
Sniper.
shitters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate, and that's the one thing I wish.
And then
get
actually,
rid of.
on that note,
Okay, we're cutting all of that.
Yeah. So
Let's just move on from there.
I'll try to make this quick because I know we are trying to wrap it up.
Yeah.
Earlier, you had said you wish you could get rid of multicam. One, I think it would be awesome just to do a game where M81 DC, make
yeah.
it super simple.
I agree.
Because so we got rid of multicam here, and actually multicam's not my problem with this one. It's Tiger Stripe, and there's going to be a lot of people that are like, "Oh, fucking Tiger Stripe's awesome." That's great. The new trend is like Crydex, Ido Gear, all those companies are making knockoff G3 sets. That's great. The Tiger Stripe ones, it is a black t-shirt.
Yeah.
Oh, that drives me.
Yeah,
And
nuts.
it
it's
is black
black.
stretch.
That drives me nuts.
And
Yeah,
on
I don't like
older,
that.
like 1960s, 1970s Tiger Stripe, that black section is almost blue. the amount of dudes on green team that were wearing tiger stripe where I looked at them was like, I would shoot you.
Yeah,
Because I think
no.
you're on the black team. If maybe, because I know you guys move around the Sierra Dynamics team.
Yeah.
Black and green should probably be together if that's going to stay. Or I don't know. I know it's going to be controversial. Stop allowing tiger stripe. Like make it
Well,
really
you can't do that.
make
Well,
it
I mean, there
restrictive
is
on the
tiger
green
stripe
team.
where it's not black. Though,
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, and it goes in the same way. I've seen other camo patterns that have black chest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And people are like, well, my plate carrier is covered. And they're right. But at the same time, you're not going to promise me you're going to keep your plate carrier.
I was
all
going
day.
to say they're right, but also
You
like
know?
the dude next to him who's also wearing the exact same set is wearing a micro chest ring.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, from
like-
behind, if somebody's like shooting out of a window
Yeah.
or looking and you see all black,
Yeah. And I'm looking at it going, this is super confusing. Like
Yeah.
there's some camos that are 100% green. There's some that are 100% tan. I looked at that going, I know that the black camos are on the other team, but you look like you're wearing all black because like you're
Right.
also wearing a black plate carrier. So this doesn't fucking
so it
help you
doesn't
at
right,
all.
right. My first big game was John Liu at Irene, and it was 3-color desert versus woodland.
Yeah.
If you didn't have it, you're not playing.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
I
You
know-
I mean,
I know
I'd love to
DCU
do
is
that.
getting harder to find. So maybe like Desert Marpat or AOR1, those are pretty easy to get a hold
I
of.
wish Arid was
Multicam.
hardcore around.
Yeah, there's only a couple companies actually making Arid besides
If you could
Pride.
do Arid solid tan and, like you said, chocolate chip or 3-color, I mean,
Yeah.
it'd just be
Well, that's kind of what we do here when Dave runs events that are green versus tan. We've thrown multicam out. So it's you can have Tropic on green and Arid on tan, but normal multicam is not allowed.
Did you get a lot of bitching about it?
Oh,
At first.
100%. Yeah. In
At
the
first,
beginning.
But now nothing.
Nothing now. And we do use multicam for Crossroads, but it's
yes.
one team is multicam,
Yeah,
Like-
yeah, okay, that makes sense.
like across
Yeah.
the board. And then the other team is whatever the fuck else. You wear a banana suit, like we don't care.
We're okay.
And also in the beginning, I think a lot of the pushback we got from it was people not understanding that post was for Zulu produced events that are
Oh
green
my God.
versus
Yeah,
tan.
Jesus.
You cannot wear multicam.
Right.
And everyone's like, what the fuck? I can't wear multicam at open play. We're like, no, we didn't
We
say
just
that.
said
We
events.
said green
Yes.
versus tan events. No multicam on tan team. And it was like just litany of bitching because they're like, I wear multicam every weekend. This is bullshit. It's like,
Yeah.
I have multicam seat
But I like
covers
it
in
that
my
y'all did
car.
that.
Do I have to remove them
Yeah.
before driving up the driveway?
I'm tempted, believe me.
Did you do that to balance teams? Putting black team and tan team together? Because we see that like tan team, usually there's less people signing up for tan.
It depends where we go.
Yeah.
Like, so if you're on the West Coast, not West Coast, but you're Texas, or New Mexico or even California, like UFS always, or, like we go to Hood or whatever, UFS always not dominates, but sells faster. And the further we move east, the more green sells.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It just happens. And it's weird. Like we go up to Liberty when we had Liberty for a couple of years in a row, and green sold really fast, but tan did not.
Yep.
And it's just been a part of the story. We have CDF, which I like. Cody hates it. CDF's cool. And the whole storyline in me is depressing. But at the end of the day, I would love to make a major switch around, but I just don't know what to go to. And that's something we're constantly thinking about of what's the next step of the storyline. We're going to change the teams up. It's always been that third weird faction like SD that's a militarized corporation company that wears the black. It gives them an opportunity to wear something a little different, and it's usually they're not mixed. They have been a couple times, maybe 4 or 5 times, where SD is partnering with somebody on a team. But for reindeer games, for instance, it's a very heavy UFS area, but everybody wants to wear black too. So this year it's UFS versus SD, tan versus black, and tickets just, like they both sold out pretty quick. So it's a balancing thing, really. At the end of the day, we try to throw SD in there maybe twice a year, but that's a weather issue. Can't bring SD to the desert. You're not going to bring SD to Plaias, right? I mean, you're just not going to do that. So you got to bring them where it's going to be cold, or it's just not going to do that.
Hikaz City.
Meanwhile, Iron Horse 2 years ago,
Yeah.
I was on SD and it was 9 billion degrees,
Oh
dude.
man, you made the choice to wear black.
You're
But
right.
You also came home praising the rugby shirt.
Oh yeah, the rugby shirt.
Oh yeah,
for
you
the
talked
win.
about that. The velocity
man.
systems.
Oh
Yeah.
God,
They're serious.
they're
Things are
fucking great.
Fucking
are great.
comfortable.
Yeah, I like only associate wearing all black with heat casing.
Yeah, I do too.
It's just
I just
almost
see-
did.
I do too.
I almost
Seen it
did.
so much.
But I get what you're saying. I mean, at the end of the day, it's it's one of those things that it's another offering because you can only do so much, and
Yeah.
we're just we tried a whole nother faction at one time called E10. So they would run with UFS, and they were all the different other colors, Flecktarn, Swedish, whatever you wanted in the tan version, and it did okay, And then we also did PSA, for green, which could wear options that were not allowed.
Yeah.
And we've kind of dissolved a little bit of both. PSA is making a comeback. But anyway, long story short, it's all of us kind of trying to give other people options. But I'm down for an event that's this color versus this color, you know.
Right.
So we'll see. Anyway.
Well, I think we should land this.
Well, thank you all so much
Land
for
this
having me
boat.
on. That was fun. I love.
Yeah, man.
And thanks for letting us come back up and have an event up here, man.
Yeah, man.
I love it. And the field looks incredible, and just honored you guys let us come back up.
Appreciate it.
Seriously.
Wait, hold on.
I mean that.
We're forgetting something.
Oh shit.
Dave, do you know what time it is?
Normie.
What is it?
What do you have for us today, Jordan? Jordan, what do you
I
have
knew
for
he
us
did.
today?
I don't have a fucking.
What do you have for us today?
What did you say in my headphones?
He said, "Is it normie?"
I don't know. What do we want to talk about? You gotta give me a second to see if there's any comments.
I didn't think there were any. That's why I was going to land it without it.
Find a good one. Think about it. Let me go to the
ahead.
bathroom 2 seconds.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay.
We don't have a Is It Normie. Do you have an Is It Normie topic?
I don't know. I don't even know.
What's-
Kind of explain to me kind of what's going on here.
Well, okay.
What's a normie?
A normie is like you're not from around here, are you? You know, you see them. They're
No.
Here's a good example.
He's so bad at it.
Dude, so bad.
Here's a good example. All right, here's a good example of normie. Okay.
Okay.
2 drop leg pistol holsters. They're the cheapest nylon ones you can get, and they're flopping all
They're
over the
flopping all over
place
the
because
place.
they're super heavy,
Okay.
like metal M9s in them or
Right.
something.
They just haven't
And then-
played Airsoft long enough to know better.
And then the normie pulls out his M9, pulls the trigger, all the gas spews out because it's
Okay.
not maintained
Okay,
at all.
I see what
and
you're
it-
saying.
Like,
now.
should-
Well, here you go. So like marking your kills on your gun. No,
Okay.
right? It's that feeling
It's
right
that-
there.
yes.
It's that feeling
Okay.
right there.
Going
Right.
to Bucky's already wearing full camo and your holster before the game.
Yeah. That
Okay.
happened.
Yes. Okay. All right. Now I get
These
it.
are what we consider normie actions. We've gone over stuff like having 2 pistols, carrying 2 rifles, marking your box mag with the amount of kills you got with your LMG, naming your gun. These we've
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hanging
We
an
have-
AT4 on the wall.
What's a normie thing to
only
do
if
at
it's in your living
AMS?
room and you're over the age of 25.
What's a normie thing to do at AMS?
Like they just haven't played long enough to know better.
Yeah. Or even like they haven't played AMS
Man, I
enough.
just
to
don't
know.
know.
Yeah, that's why I'm
mean,
like,
I see so many unique and odd, and I mean, I've seen some stuff out there, man. I can tell you that.
like I said it on the podcast, is it normie to bring a minigun? I
Oh.
don't think so.
I saw a minigun this long.
Yeah, that's the one we were talking
I'm
about.
like, bro, what is that?
He had mags
it's
for
just-
it.
I don't understand what's going on.
Minigun guy was so cool.
Yeah, minigun guy.
We have to get. There's some stuff that we are going to for next year, and that is one of them.
Yeah.
Some of the other.
Oh, he's
guns,
such a good guy.
Oh, but he
Yeah, I know.
ordered 7 mags for it.
Exactly. So
Yeah, but technically speaking, okay, we're gonna
Okay.
rule lawyer AMS for a
All right.
second. Minigun with an
Sport-
LMG,
LMG,
but he had 8 magazines total, like a rifleman would, but they were high caps. So in the confines of the rules, like each of those mags was like 2,000 rounds. He has well exceeded the round count in LMG.
he's not supposed to even use those mags in that
Yeah.
gun anyway.
Yeah,
So
so
like
that's
that's
why
I
it's
can't
like-
believe we even saw that and let that. You get me anxiety.
Yeah,
great
he was
dude.
a
Gives me
nice guy.
anxiety.
He was a
great
nice
dude.
enough guy.
Yeah.
And he-
But that was horrible.
I guess he was like, was he less than a joule, something like that?
Yeah, he said his gun was shooting like 0.85
Yeah.
mils. Which I will also tell you from having to chrono a minigun every now and then here, it's a pain in
so
the ass to
fucking
chrono.
hard.
So
Yeah,
I'm impressed
yeah.
you guys even got it chronoed. There's a reason why the chrono screens over there, a couple of them have like 2 or 3 BB holes. It's not from refs being stupid, it's from trying to chrono a
yeah.
minigun.
yeah.
Oh,
Oh God.
yeah.
But no, I don't know.
I think we're okay. Ann.
That's all right. I didn't think we had any today. That's why I left it till the end. If you have any, put them down in the comments below. If you have any questions for Bo, put them down in the comments below. I'm sure he'll sneak on over there and
I'd
take a
love
look
to.
at them.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
If you have any more sustains or improves for AMS, put them down there as well.
Please do.
Bo, we appreciate you coming on, man.
Thanks, man.
I'm
I really
looking forward to
appreciate
this
it.
week.
It's been fun. With that, good night. God bless. We're out.
Thank y'all.